cryptonewsnetwork.io. We're having a discussion. So right now we're live on Twitter. We got to bring it out there. My man is digging deep. Yeah, give him your 217. 212.
272. My man said that Dogecoin will have its own decentralized finance protocol.
Yes.
That it will be a DeFi, a DApp.
Yes, 100%.
Whatever happens, the first 100,000 I make will be sent to his charity of choice. Big facts.
Yes, big facts. I usually do charity in the summers. It's when I golf, so it's appreciated. The reality is, guys, the one thing that we do here, like, we have a Discord. If you haven't been to a Discord, you need to get into a Discord. So, but more important, let me say it right. You need to get into a Discord with true education and people that actually know what they're talking about. Because there's 1,000 Discords out there who want you to come in and pay money just so that they can have a little bit of money to trade with, and then they can't educate you, right? What we have inside the Discord, something that I put together is like mastermind classes, free trading classes, margins, right? If you don't understand, a year and a half ago, I was teaching people how to margin in cryptocurrency when everyone else was trying to just explain to you the difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum. So the education levels have to, it's facts. You guys have to realize, like, who do you want to learn from? Do you want to learn from the person who's reading Google and then telling you what they read? Or do you want to learn from the person who didn't need to read Google because they already knew what was going to happen? Right? Anything that happens on Google is just basically, for me, is basically telling me what I already know is actually starting to happen. Right? And that's because you don't get the information you need to be successful in trading or in business or what we call scaling businesses or entrepreneurship or venture capitalism by getting the news off Google. If Google is telling you your news, you're about 3 weeks behind. You're late. Right? Because that's why they call it advertisement. The reason why it's on Google is because they're advertising to you because a venture capitalist is paying money to have you pay to their project. So I appreciate you. But at the end of the day, you have to get to the point where you learn business, right? And business is basically in the trenches. So right now, the education that we're really giving out and teaching people inside the groups is to go towards what's called DeFi, right? The evolution of cryptocurrency or blockchain, right? And the first thing, I was the very first person to tell you, stop saying Bitcoin when you talk about crypto. Stop making Bitcoin the face of cryptocurrency. Because what you're doing is you're labeling cryptocurrency as one particular coin, and it had nothing to do with freedom because Bitcoin is not the freedom of the world. Bitcoin is a development of the freedom of the world, which is blockchain. Blockchain technology is what sets you free, not the coin that came from it, right? Now, with that being said, it is the OG. With that being said, it is the emperor. With that being said, yeah. It has technology that is going to be used for other entities. Like, don't get it wrong. A lot of these companies that are looking at blockchain technology love Bitcoin for its security, right? But the reason why they love it for the security is because they also don't need speed or accurate or like speed and things to be done fast. They need things to be secure. It's kind of like, it's like having a 400-pound lineman and a 200-pound running back, right? You're not going to hand the lineman the ball. So you have to understand where things fit in, right? So the funniest thing is, as you see the evolution of these things, you have to realize where they fit in, guys. So what I was explaining to everyone here is that Drizzy's the main, but we have a bunch of people in the Discord because we're always live and talking just out there. And what Drizzy was actually in a conversation explaining DeFi because his evolution of knowledge is coming down to where he's educating himself on the whole purpose to create blockchain, which was the evolution into DeFi, which is the evolution into financial freedom and financial abilities to actually do what crypto was made to do. And this is where you guys have to start adapting this in everything you say, hashtag peer-to-peer, so that you never forget the entire purpose of crypto was for you to barter with your peer and us exchange items without paying any taxes on it and just get the things that we need to be financially or physically done. So things that you need for your life to survive. It's survival.
That's right.
And you shouldn't pay taxes on things to survive. You should only
That's
pay
right.
taxes on things that are entertainment, because survival is the right of every human being, and it should never be taxed. Let that sink in, right? So now when you get into this type of things, right now we're getting more into what's called a mastermind class that I teach and I educate, right? The whole part of a mastermind class is so that you understand where and what you need to do for survival. Survival is key. Right? There's a million ways to make money. I could take you to a Dollar Tree store, take $100, buy 100 things, walk down the streets of any major city for 4 hours, and turn that $100 into $400. And I could do that every single day until I make $5 grand a week. Okay? Because why? Because I understand economics. I understand the law of average. I understand that it takes every 1,000 people you talk to, 10 people will buy your product. I understand basic systems to make money, right? When you look at all this new technology, it brings the opportunity to make money in the same asset, in the same way, the same plan, except you have to execute. That's why I told you 8 months ago, and why everyone was trying to figure out what an NFT was. I was the guy telling you, well, even a year ago, I told everyone, tokenization is going to come across this entire platform, and one day you're going to wake up and the top 400 coins will be the coins that you see, the companies you see outside your house. Nike, Walmart, right? The stock market will become cryptocurrency, right? And people are like,
3.0.
yeah, they don't even know what that is. I was talking about how cryptocurrency would become the 12th sector. And that's probably, if you don't know what the 12th sector is, you're probably thinking to yourself, what's he talking about? Go Google it. The course is for a reason. But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you have all these millionaires and billionaires who are now coming into space. And I went to a couple Bitcoin conventions where you have these guys speaking, and it was so interesting how Mark Cuban, who was supposed to be leading the charge in the NFT space just because his son bought some NFTs and he thought they were cool, that everyone thought he understood. Yeah, he didn't even know what it is. He doesn't even understand it. He doesn't even understand what it really means, but he knew that it was cool technology, and his field is technology. I already knew that you can, by tokenizing anything, you put value on it. If you put value on it, it's valuable, which means you can create a price, a floor, a purpose, a market. And if you can create a market, then you can sell it. There's a thing very simply called, this is how it works, right? One fool finds something and puts value on it, and it's only worth value if there's another fool to buy it. And eventually that fool finds another fool, and then when the thing ends up being unvaluable? When there's no more fools to buy it. So that's really the key. That's the entire thing to business. Everything,
Us, man.
yeah, everything is important, right? Yes. And the people are the ones who basically control the entire market. Right now, we're in a fight for expansion and who's going to be able to grow into DeFi, peer-to-peer, self-banking interest, right? If you're not paying attention,
Right.
the entire 40% of the money is controlled by what we call baby boomers in your country. And in this country here, the baby boomers are controlled, and they donate their money to IRAs and retirement funds. And those retirement funds go to a company called BlackRock because they're the largest, basically, company that oversees retirement funds. And you know what they do with those funds? They go out there and purchase and buy things that basically disrupt the markets and make it tough for retail investors to make money because they're oversaturating it. And then they take huge fees up, yes. And then they give the people that they made hundreds. They're literally making 30 to 80% interest on everything they do, and they're giving, well, we'll say average of 20 to 30%, but they're giving the retirement funds 7, maybe 5, and they're keeping the 25%. So imagine if I came to your business, right, and you did business, and I said, okay, that's a pretty cool project, and I took your business and I went to the front of your store, and you had a register, and everyone who walked in averagely bought one item, and I was better at selling stuff than you, and I went in there and I sold out your entire store, or 4 more products than you, but I decided to give you 8% of the 100% that was sold. So as an employee, if I took 80% profit and gave you 20, then you would say to yourself, no way, man, I own this store, right? But I would say to you, well, without me, you wouldn't even sold it. So
Mm,
at some point, we're both right in what we believe, but we have to come to an understanding of who's the boss and who built the company, right? BlackRock is nobody without your money. And that's why the baby boomers
facts.
need to wake up and realize that if you allow BlackRock to do what they just did in Vanguard, which was go into Nexio and convince them to basically eliminate 10 to 12% staking on stable coins and kick you out Americans and basically say you have to be accredited investors now, which means $1 million, basically saying all Americans cannot get into free 12% interest because their banks give 0.06, and they want the banks to continue to enslave you with basically forcing you to use their bank, because if you use crypto, you don't need the bank because you're the bank, but they need to push you back into your spot, which is poverty.
Right.
Okay.
I
And
gotta say this, BC. Let me say this on your video because I want to say this. You guys have such a huge responsibility upon your shoulders that a lot of people don't even understand the opportunity or what this opportunity even means for their families or even the people that they know. How you could fundamentally change the way they could live life, and it should be taken very seriously. If you're not in a Discord where you go in 1 week and you don't learn anything, get the hell out that Discord. Because guess what? They don't care about you, and they honestly, you're just an asset to them. Right now, this is for the people, by the people. So how are you learning anything from that Discord? That should be your one fundamental question when you decide to join anything. And for the baby boomers right now who are stubborn, you guys do know that fiat itself, the currency, is dead and it's going to
yes,
get worse. You're seeing a mirage of that value. One day they're going to wake up and they lost everything
I mean,
and they're not going to know
if
why.
you're a baby boomer and you don't know what that means, I mean, we don't need to be the most intelligent person in the room. But if you go to a building and you walk in the building, and the reason why you went to that building is because you have $100, and you know that the guy in that building, his specialty is investing, and you hand your $100 over to Jack the investor, and Jack the investor goes out, and you see him go out, and he walks over to another building, and he buys something in that building, and then he moves on and comes back. And again, you go, well, what'd you do, Jack? He said, well, you gave me money to invest for you, so I bought something that's worth money. And you look across the street, and it says the gold store. Now, if you're not smart enough to realize that gold is probably valuable, then you need to, you probably need better parents. Your genes are bad. But at the end of the day, if you go to an investor in a corporation like Jamie Dimon and all these hedge funds, and you give them your money, and they are steadily active in watching cryptocurrencies and investing, if BlackRock is becoming the overseer of USD, right, and USDC coin, meaning that they're the ones who are basically, I mean, if they put $400 million into a cryptocurrency called USDC, and you can't figure out that maybe crypto's real by now, you are just not connected to your money. You're not thinking, right? When Vanguard comes in and invests into the cryptocurrency world as well, the two largest investors in the country, and you're not understanding that that's where everything is going, when your government tells you they're going to look into regulating cryptocurrency and a day later have a crypto coin, if you don't know that that's suspicious because they've been working on it for the last 10 years, then you just don't understand, and you probably just need to stay where you are or ask your kid on what you should do, because your child, your 15-year-olds, your 18-year-olds, they're investing in cryptocurrencies and making hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they know what real
True.
freedom is, while you're stuck giving two companies all your money who are steady trying to remove the entire purpose of cryptocurrency was for that everyone to make more money and basically put it to where they control it again, and then you give them money and they make 14-15% on your money and give you 1% because you bring them your money, which basically means you will then still have to work 60 years of your life, go into retirement, not have enough to really do what you want, and die upset that you lived a shitty life. And you know whose fault that is? Yours. So the reason why we actually get into this conversation is, you know, people have to hold themselves accountable. Life sucks because it's your life. Remember that. And at the end of the day, what we were talking about was something that was so interesting because obviously everyone knows Elon Musk is out here buying Twitter, and he's been very supportive of a coin called Doge. And a lot of people get the wrong idea about Doge because the very first thing that they do is there's a creator of Doge, and his entire story is he wanted to make a coin that was a joke about cryptocurrency. So they made a coin that was delivered from a fork of Bitcoin. But the joke is that this coin would forever continue to mint more coins, so that way it could never actually be valuable. And it used to be at 0.0000008. And that was the joke, was that you could give this coin to the entire world and it would just keep minting and everyone could have one or two coins, and they call it Doge. And his buddy, the greatest thing about the guy who created Doge was he was lucky enough to be friends with an intelligent person who said, you know what, I'm going to create this coin for you. And he basically, I think he worked at Adobe, and he came in and actually, this guy was so smart that he actually made not a meme coin, but an actual token that comes from a fork of Bitcoin. And most people think that it came from a fork of Litecoin, and that's just because they're not educated. It actually came from a coin called Lucky. That coin was forked from Litecoin, which basically means is that Dogecoin is a third generation Bitcoin. It's not a meme coin. A meme coin is a coin that has deflationary techniques, taxes, and all these weird things attached to it. That would be Shiba Inu, right? Where Doge is an actual token created on the blockchain of Bitcoin, which means that it can operate and use all the security and techniques that the blockchain actually has in place for it. It's called trustless, right? And Doge being a trustless fork of Bitcoin means that it has all the attributes of Bitcoin and can be used like Bitcoin. And the reason why Elon Musk is actually backing Doge is because Elon knows that Bitcoin can never be a currency or a liquidity coin because it's designed to be a security coin. Which it's designed to be is the basically a safety deposit box for documents inside the web of cryptocurrency of the blockchain. It's not designed for money. And it doesn't matter what you create or Lightning Network and all that other jazz. It just doesn't happen because inside of Bitcoin, there is a development section of a block that the developers don't know how to change, because when Satoshi built it, he built this into Bitcoin for a reason, and they're worried that if they change it, they would destroy the entire blockchain of Bitcoin. And they don't want to take that risk because they don't understand why Satoshi built it that way. So therefore, that's why Bitcoin has not had any evolution. It's because of the fear of changing Bitcoin from what it is and changing the dynamics of how it works. So they don't want to take the risk. And that's why you have forks like Litecoin, Lucky Coin, and Doge. Elon Musk understands that you cannot use Bitcoin on a level where if 10% of the world actually use Bitcoin, it doesn't matter if you were using carbon-free energy or wind power energy, it would consume so much power that it's impossible to actually transfer the coins, even on Lightning, right? You wouldn't get your money. It just doesn't work, guys. But as a...
Can you learn that on your Discord? Can you learn any of that on your Discord?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you have to be educated. Now, what's so funny is that I think that what we call FUD or miseducation, I don't know why the creator of Bitcoin the creator of Dogecoin always pops up. And every time I see an article, it's like the creator of Dogecoin says that Elon Musk is doing a bad job. And I think to myself, wow, here's a guy who created a token because he thought it would be a good joke to create a token from Bitcoin that continuously minted, because Bitcoin only has 21 million coins, the opposite of Bitcoin, which would be Doge, and it always minted. And he didn't even create the coin. His buddy came and created it for him and made a really good coin. Now, the
Isn't it
guy,
ironic?
isn't it ironic? And the guy sold all his Dogecoin to buy a Volkswagen. And the fact, this is where we have to understand, guys. This is when you hear me say, just because there's a comment section doesn't mean you should comment. Because the man who sold his Dogecoin, who couldn't see any type of understanding of here's a guy who's in cryptocurrency X amount of years before everyone else, but didn't understand what it was really going to do and where it was the greatest technology ever built to our time at this very moment. Sold his coins for a Volkswagen, but wants to criticize a man with 5 companies worth over $2 trillion. I'm so confused.
Message.
I mean, could you imagine building an empire and then having the guy who comes and vacuums your carpet try to tell you he's what you did was wrong? Hey, bro, just vacuum the carpet in the Volkswagen, okay? Take a break. At the end of the day, guys, people need to realize that opinions don't matter. It's only about facts and data. And what was so important about Doge, and this is where even Drizzy, who's studying DeFi right now, and he's blown away by all the things that you can actually do with DeFi with, the 50, you can 50x, the factors, fractionals, and all these other things that pop up.
Lending, borrowing, everything.
Everything. And what it really means is financial freedom. When you're a bank, right, your money is worth 400 times its value compound per year, which means you could never go broke. Hence why the banks keep buying everything, right? And the best part about it is you don't need a lot of money to survive if you were getting paid residual income monthly that covered the bills that you have. You could literally live for free because your money pays your bills. And it's a crazy concept to you because you've never studied banking or how they make money. And what we're covering here was so interesting was that, there was a joke that Dogecoin, because we're investing in it right now because obviously it just spiked again. But where people don't understand is that Doge is not actually a meme coin. It's actually a real token. It's a 3rd generation or 4th generation of Bitcoin. It has all the attributes to Bitcoin. And the best part about Doge is that it can be changed, unlike Bitcoin, into the proof of stake, from proof of work to proof of stake. But more importantly, if you design an ecosystem, right? So the one thing about Bitcoin is the thing that holds it back is that it doesn't have smart contracts. You could build on top of Bitcoin and make a coin or a token that can be built on blockchain, on Bitcoin's technology and add smart chains, right? That's why Ethereum was created, because Ethereum was created to have smart contracts, right? Something that Bitcoin didn't offer. And the only way that blockchain technology has so many things that it does, that based on contracts, which is the next generation of things, you had to have smart contracts. And that's what limited Bitcoin from really scaling and taking over the entire cryptocurrency world, is that it doesn't have every tool it needs. It's a very simple tool. It has security, where Ethereum has scalability, right? Now, the problem with Ethereum was that it was built on Java, and they cannot solve a Java problem. And you're going to see Ethereum get hacked and have a lot of issues down the road because Java, they have a Java link that has an issue that no one ever talks about, and they can't solve it. Will they solve it? I don't know. But at the end of the day, there's a weakness inside the Java system that leaves them vulnerable to hacks. This is why when you see the company called XRP was created, XRP built a ledger, and they built the ledger on what, Drizzy?
Proof of consensus.
Which is
distributed ledger technology.
Which runs on what system?
RippleNet.
Linux.
Oh,
not Java.
So sorry, I apologize. I
Right?
know which direction you were going.
So you're good. I know you study XRP
Can
like
I say
crazy.
this one thing about DeFi? Because there is a huge misconception, and this is what scares people, and it scared me. a lot of people see those APRs and they wonder, where does this liquidity come from? This was Zach's number one reason why he don't like DeFi. But when you start understanding the whole blockchain behind it, and that the DeFi protocols, like that's why you got Chronos and then you got Phantom and Chronos. I'm just going to speak on Crow right now. That supports the Crypto.com exchange. The reason that the whole exchange has liquidity now is because from the DeFi app. So when we decide to make these LP tokens and provide liquidity, because that's what LP means, to be a liquidity provider, you get paid rewards. And do you know what happens to a lot of traders out there? They get wrecked. And do you know who gets paid when they get wrecked? DeFi liquidity providers.
Yes.
So
Because
sometimes it's good to bet with the exchanges.
well, the whole thing is that at the end of the day, what's the most important thing to a person on a day-to-day life? They work all week to do what on the weekend?
To chill, hang out, be with your family, have your time.
And do what? Entertainment, right?
Entertainment. Yeah, I like that. Oh, you're going fundamental with it.
Blockchain technology is a bunch of companies that are creating elements of entertainment. Okay? At the end of the day, trading and the ability to get in a coin, I mean, what's a casino? What's a lotto ticket?
Exactly. You're right.
Right? This entire environment is based on the very simple concept. Like when it comes down to marketing and elements like that, companies have really good visions. But if they wanted to change the world and wanted to go clean every ocean, if everyone would say, yeah, we should clean the ocean, but would you all donate $1 today? Right? Would you donate
Absolutely.
$1? Right? If you would, here, go to venturecapitalistcoin.io. If you want to clean the oceans, donate $10 today. Buy $10 of the coin. We'll clean the oceans. I guarantee you nobody will, even though you would love to know the ocean was clean. But the one thing you will do is if I tell you that there's a coin about to go up or I'm investing in a coin, you'll go check it out, put $10 in a trade and see if it goes up or down or do some type of liquidity move or margin or something. You'll get completely wrecked for $100, but at least you saw the chart go up and down and there was a wick that liquidated you and you almost made 150. Right?
Yeah, you were there. It's the dream. You're
It's
chasing
the dream. That's all it is. Fundamentally, marketing is based on entertainment, and the only thing that people really care about is entertainment. Are you not entertained? I mean, think about everything you watch, right? You go to a movie, you spend $8 to $12 to a movie, but $50 for popcorn. Right? It's unbelievable. So what you have to understand is that
true.
Liquidity is simply this. If you are supporting a company to create items and things that allow people to come in and stake or play a game or invest and try to take a coin and make more, if the company lends people coins and they get wrecked and they take back the coins, that's them making money because they're keeping their coin, which is basically worth liquidity. And if you keep losing the coin that's worth liquidity, that means the company continues to collect. Here, I'll give you $1. Go ahead and make a ball on that hoop. Oh, you almost won the teddy bear. I'll take another $1. Shoot the ball in the hoop. Oh, I'll take another $1. And then I take that $1, right? But in order to get you to shoot the ball at the hoop, I need liquidity to buy the hoop. I need liquidity to buy all these stuffed animals that you see at the carnival. Right? So I need all these things in order to start my business to bring people in to actually pay for what the services that I have, right? By having the person who's funding or believing in a project, when I'm making money or there's money coming in, that's where it goes back into the entire company. And by having liquidity, you're holding a token that is going up in value because the company is growing. And that is why you're going to have a difficult time in this entire process, because in fundamentals and what's called probably the dumbest thing I've ever read, which is called the Howey test. Okay. And if you're not a financial person or understand anything about financials, A Howey test is a 4-prong test that simply determines, the SEC made this up, where if it has anything to do with any of the 4 prongs, it's considered a security. And the entire process of this thing is called security is based on one thing, right? This is what they say. If and this is the breakdown of the Howey test. If you buy or someone invests in anything in the world, and the entire process is in hopes that that product that you invested in will one day become profitable because of somebody else's work or ability to create money, then that is considered a security, and that person needs to register the item that was being sold or marketed to people to invest in, so that that individual who would take the funds and turn it into money would register with the SEC so they could properly tax you, properly create what's called an IPO. Because the first thing is, if you're a person who's capable of creating a company that will create wealth for other people, you're not allowed to basically go out and talk to retail investors or anyone around you, because that would be making poor people money. You're allowed to take your product to the richest people, because the richest people have the right to use your brain to become richer. Welcome to the IPO.
Sounds like the US dollar.
Welcome to the IPO.
Jasmine is running, guys.
Now, the entire thing here that we have to really focus on is this. You have to say to yourself, like, all right, so at the end of the day, the Howey test does one thing, right? It basically says that anything that's purchased that makes people money that's not registered fails the Howey test, right? Because, I mean, you're not buying anything unless you think it's going to make money. And it only makes money if someone actually goes out there and makes it make money, right? And that's where they're trying to take that away, because they don't want every average person in the world to be able to go out there and make money off of a good ideal. That's why they have the patent center. That's why they have the copyrights. That's why they have, when you go create something, they go and recreate it. Why? Is because they want to take it from you. That's like their entire game plan, is to steal your ideals. And if you don't think it, go look up Amazon and the bag they stole, right? Amazon will go out there. You'll put enough products out there, and basically what happens is Amazon will take the top selling products that they have on their website. They will basically recreate them and then sell them above your product for 30% cheaper to take all your customers. Right? Diabolical. And you did all the work of the ideal, the concept, and then you even went out there and got the customers. And all they did was say, well, thanks, guys. We're going to make a generic version of what you did and take 60% of your business and still make more than you. And then we're going to cut you down slower and slower. Just like walking into Walmart and there's the Great brand. You used to be able to buy Twinkies, and now you buy Great brand Twinkies. You used to be able to buy pasta. Yeah. All these stores, all they're doing is finding the greatest products that are sold, going to find manufacturers that will sell it to them cheaper, and then they rebox them in generic packaging, and they sell it to you because they know that you don't care that it's an authentic Italian noodle. You don't care if the noodle came from, pure grain or cheap grain. All you want is spaghetti for the night. So you will buy the generic brand. And it adds up 10%, 10%. You guys got to understand that they make all their money by stealing ideals. That's what the world is. The greatest thing about blockchain, guys, think about this. Blockchain, when you have an ideal and you put it on blockchain, it is copywritten, undisputable, material and corporate and commercial rights in your name. The only person who has the commercial rights is you, or the person who owns the coin of the blockchain. Do you understand what blockchain is? Blockchain is...
That's also why NFTs are important too, though.
It's why NFTs will be basically 70,000% more money than the cryptocurrency coins. The entire crypto industry will become NFTs. That's why I told you a year ago. NFTs and tokenization will basically dwarf the coins, because coins are meaningless. They don't mean anything, right? Coins are just stocks, options into a dream or a white paper of someone's ideal of what they can create. And it is a security because you're investing in someone's ability to create something. There are laws out there. You guys need to stop dreaming and realize that the people who are in charge have created laws to hold you down. And this is a moment in time before everything gets regulated and judged and decided in the court of what it's called, that we stand up together, right? You need to go to a website called WeTheBlockchain.io. Okay, it's a Discord that you can log in, and over the next couple months or so, there's going to be a chance to start talking about putting lobbyists together, because the only way to win this is to basically go to Washington and tell the people in charge, we don't want what they're trying to do. We want the freedom of the blockchain, right? Because you don't want something that has no regulations on it to be deemed a security, even though it's really an ideal, right? You don't want them to take your right to make 12% interest on your money before you even learned how to do it, right? So that they can stick you,
right.
so they can stick you in back in the bank, and the bank will go to cryptocurrency. They will make 12 to 15% being the liquidity holders, and then give you back 1% of the. Think about this. You're going to go over here and you're going to be gambling on all these coins and these projects, and you're going to lose your ass because it's all rigged. It's a carnival job. You're at the carnival, boys. Okay, boys and girls, you're in the carnival, right? And they're going to take all your money that you worked all week for. And then the best thing is, they're like, don't worry about it. You're in the bank. We give you 1% back. Have a good night, Charlie. Stop settling to be the slave and enslaved by the people. Wake up. They don't care about you.
Man.
You're the 99 percenters. You're the 4,000 Jews sitting in the bottom building Egypt up, with 200 people overlooking you with whips. Understand, you can overtake them because we have the power. We have the masses. We don't have to buy their products.
No.
Think about the power of marketing. Think about the power of people. Think of the power of money. If we don't give them the money, they have no power. So if we don't buy their product, they have no power. And how you know this is, go find out what companies own 90% of the companies. Go find out who owns BlackRock, Vanguard. Find out who owns all your food companies, right? Hostess. You know, think about all the companies that have your Keebler, your Campbell Soups, right? They don't care what you eat, man, and that's why they don't care what you eat. You can eat anything that you want, and they don't care what you eat because they don't care about your health. They just care that you spend money in their product, right? And the funny thing is, they hire a bunch of people at all these random companies that they own, and they have them compete by trying to outmarket each other. They don't really care who wins. They own it all. But if you start... Yeah.
Jersey, look in the chat. Elon says he's going to upgrade Twitter by XRP. And to ask me, it looks like it might run.
So at the end of the day, you guys got to realize, like, the ability to use blockchain technology for growth and freedom is the only reason why you have to focus it. You have to realize you have to break away and realize the power's in the money, right? When you look at all the brands that were going out of business, Chevrolet was going out of business until the Latinos started buying it. Budweiser was going out of business until the Latinos started buying it. Nike was going out of business until Michael Jordan put on their shoe, right?
Yeah.
Everything goes out of business without the people, right? And then instead of respecting you and selling you a shoe for $30, they realized that there's so many people that wanted the shoe, they sold it for $110. And you know how and then instead of actually building a quality shoe in America with supporting the fabric of America, they went to China and used sweatshops to get shoes for $1 and charge you $150 instead. So not only did they lower their product cost by 90%, but they raised their product by 100%. So this is the greediness that you support. If you buy Nike, you support slave shops. Right? You support a company that doesn't care about you so much that they'd rather cut their product by 90% and then charge you 90% more because they know you have this greed to own a shoe that costs $140 that you put on your kids' feet that children in Chicago get shot over some fake patent leather. Meaningless. People lose their lives for that shoe. You know what Nike does? Nothing. They don't even cover the funeral. They don't even say sorry. Right? They don't
This is
even.
why I want to make our coin, VC.
Yeah, they don't even care. And now that they're coming to the metaverse, right? They're in the metaverse making with RTFK Studios. They have an NFT for a shoe for Nike for $40,000.
What?
I mean, why are you guys buying something from a company that is doing nothing for anyone, but yet scream you want freedom, yet scream you want humanity, yet
Equality.
scream that you want equality and you want people to, everyone should be happy, right? You support all the companies that don't care about any of that. Wake up, man. Wake up. WeTheBlockchain.io, man. We need to start supporting the people, peer-to-peer. Don't forget what blockchain is, right? And the entire conversation, this conversation started off one thing: understanding the difference between a meme coin and a real token. And Dogecoin is a token. And the reason why Elon Musk support Dogecoin and he doesn't support Shiba Inu, even though he's part of the creation of Shiba Inu, is because Dogecoin can be evolved into the Bitcoin that everybody wanted. It has an endless supply, which can be developed into an ecosystem so that it can actually, that's what Songbird is. Did you ever ask yourself why a ledger like XRP that runs on Linux is being developed, and the Songbird protocol was being developed to have XRP build a DeFi ecosystem in XLM? But the only two coins that aren't on ledgers who actually run on Bitcoin were Litecoin and Dogecoin. Why were those two coins the other two coins that were able to work inside of Songbird to build ecosystems?
Talk to him.
Like, if you guys didn't read that part, the most important part about Songbird wasn't that XRP was going to be able to build a DeFi ledger. It was that Dogecoin could. Right? Think about that.
Think about that. Yeah, that's, you know what's crazy? Learning about DeFi, honestly, because, there's a lot of people that are in crypto, but they don't even know or understand economics or know what money is, right? Now, XRP is supposed to be a bridge currency, right?
Liquidity coin, yeah.
What do you think DeFi does? They literally call it bridge in it. If a person can bridge their currency by themselves, why the hell would they use a bank?
Exactly.
When they are the bank. Let that sink in. Would you rather be a bank or still go and get charged for somebody to lend and make profit off your money? And I'm crazy.
And
let that sink in.
You have to let it sink in because, on the XRP thing, I don't want to be a spoiler alert, but you have to understand that a ledger has the ability to separate itself. See, if you had Bitcoin and there's only 21 million Bitcoins, you can't essentially take Bitcoin and take 11 million Bitcoin off the market and then say, we're going to use these 11 million Bitcoin, right? So let's say that people own 18 million Bitcoin right now. And the banks said to themselves, right, and let this sink in because I'm going to explain this to you one time. And companies decided that Bitcoin's technology with its security and its ability to do what it does was so important to them that they're actually going to use the technology. What they would have to do is go out and purchase 8 million Bitcoins from the public who own the Bitcoin because it's already been mined and it's already on the market. So they would have to buy from the circulating supply or wait 100 years for the other 2 million coins to be minted. And that means that when they purchase the Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin would go up because the value of Bitcoin goes up because of scarcity, right? That's how Bitcoin goes up in value, is scarcity of owning this precious technology coin, right? Now, take XRP, because everyone wants it to go to 500, right? Which it will.
Yeah, of course.
XRP could go to $1
Yeah,
million. Here's the difference. It'll be worth $1 million on the back ledger where the banks operate.
Right.
It doesn't
right.
mean it'll be your coin,
Right. But they don't tell you.
right? And the whole thing is that if all the banks decided to use XRP, don't they have 50% of it in escrow?
Exactly.
I mean, what do you think the escrow's for? Every time they sign up a bank, what do they get? XRP.
XRP.
Now, let's say that they decided to jumpstart an economy, right? And this is the only reason that I didn't really want to get into this because I wanted to stay focused on Dogecoin, because Dogecoin, the key to Doge that people don't understand is that Dogecoin can be, unlike Shiba Inu, Dogecoin is not a meme coin. It's a real token. It's a fork of Bitcoin.
Coin.
It's a real coin. It can be developed into a DeFi protocol with security, with DeFi, and added. You can build on top of, inside of Dogecoin, you could add smart contracts as you develop it into the next generation. That's the difference between Doge and Bitcoin, is that you can change Doge, but you can't change Bitcoin because it runs a risk of who knows, right?
Yeah, probably collapsing.
Yes, but you can change Doge, and if it messes up, you just change it back. It's not a big deal, right? So at the end of the day, Dogecoin also has a supply limit that basically keeps it sustainable to a point that it's not a pump and dump, right? It's not going to become $20 tomorrow and then $2 the next day. Like Bitcoin has the ability to jump up from 10,000 to 60 back down to 20, right?
That makes sense.
Where with Dogecoin constantly being minted, there's a mechanism already created in Doge that allows it to continue to mint itself, and then as they create burning opportunities for Dogecoin and DeFi, then they can also turn up and adjust the levels of money of Dogecoin to basically adhere what they would like to have as an average return on Doge, which controls the ecosystem and it doesn't allow it to destroy itself. And the reason why I'm saying that is because XRP does the same thing. When you become bullish on XRP and you start to buy XRP, right, they tell you that Ripple isn't selling any more coins.
Yeah.
But they don't let you know that they've already put enough coins inside of the markets because they're part of the entire plan. And as the people start to buy the coin, the market makers release more Ripple or more XRP.
They don't suck up so much liquidity, man.
Right.
They don't suck up everyone's liquidity, bro.
And all they do is as you start to buy up, they go snatch your what you're investing, and they wrap coins and keep adding the coins. And what they're doing is just feeding you the XRP, right? Which is already it's already on the market. It's true that, and it's beautiful how they have you hypnotized. It's true that Ripple has not released more coins into the public. It's because they've already released the coins they needed. They already did the mathematics on here. They don't need any more coins. So once the liquidity hits a level of a certain amount and XRP actually starts to rise naturally, right? They would have to have a serious amount of money, and they're not putting it into the system or the project because they don't want that to happen. But when the people and the retail investors get excited and start buying, they start wrapping the coins that are already on the market to keep it stable, right? And what that does is it proves that XRP can be used and stabilized across an entire market, which basically
a stable coin.
It's a stable coin.
A dollar.
And what it does is it also allows their technology to grow and be developed into these other processes and access. Now, the best part about this is it doesn't really hurt them that once the entire amount of coins have been put into liquidity actually finish and the project starts to actually explode. Because when that actually happens, they'll just buy up the liquidity, and take positionary positions on the coins as it goes up in value, right? Because does it really matter if how many holders have XRP, Drizzy? How many wallets?
It's probably more than that. It was six. It was like 78,000 3 months ago.
That's 78,000 holders.
Yeah.
It's
So
gotta be way more than that. I think that's a wrong number.
so
though,
say to
because,
yourself, so
look at Twitter. I mean, look at TikTok.
there's 100,000 people, right? Let's get a little crazy here. Let's say there's 250,000 people that hold XRP. Do you really think they care if you got an extra 10 or 20 grand, right? It would actually be a really good part of the system to have you have an extra 10, 20, 30 grand, because you know what you're going to do with it? You're going to spend it. And that goes into the economy, which goes to where? The companies that own everything.
Right.
You're feeding, it's called,
Diabolical.
it's diabolical. It's called the circle of life, except they don't care about yours, right? What you need to do is when you make all that XRP money is you need to take it into projects that are ran by other civilians, other 99 percenters, and build projects outside of BlackRock and Vanguard, so that we can build a society that sustains and supports artists that are making shoes in NFT world and not Nike. Because you know what Nike does with their money? They create sweatshops. They do nothing. They don't care about you.
I want to say one thing about Ripple, and you know, that's why when people first get into crypto, what's the first coin they buy? XRP, because of it's common sense, you know. And they keep it so focused on the bridge. It's the bridge. It's to provide liquidity, because banks need liquidity. They get so hyper focused on that, right? What I do know to be fact is that when I heard Jerome Powell speak, right, and he said distributed ledger technology, that tells me one thing and one thing only. One, he's talking about the ledger, and two, this is the plan from the very, very beginning.
Oh yeah, I mean, 100%, guys.
He
Don't.
didn't say blockchain. He said distributed ledger technology. You didn't hear him say anything about no damn blockchain. He said distributed ledger technology and decentralized finance.
And if you actually,
that should tell you that.
and if you actually were inside of, and this is why you guys have to make a decision of who you go and hang out with and who you listen to, right? At the end of the day, the people who don't understand what's really coming down the road or why it's actually coming down the road they haven't studied, because there's a thing called Hyperledger, right? Or what's called Hyperledger, was it Fiber? Hyperfiber, right? Hyperfiber ledger. And it basically what it does is it replaces the it's the reason why VeChain is not important. But the reason why it hasn't taken over is because it has a problem with storage. And that's where blockchain solves a lot of the issues. But if you actually studied the issues that blockchain has when it comes to IT, if you studied and did that, you would realize that the IT issue is that by using Ethereum, you're dealing with Java, and Java has an issue when it comes to cross usage of IT and the ability of scalability and interoperability, right? This is why Ethereum is being moved to a storage center, and that's why Filecoin went down in value, because Filecoin is no longer needed with Ethereum. Right? So you guys are all sitting here going, what's going on with my projects? Because you don't understand cryptocurrency. You don't understand the evolution that's happening. They are solving and finishing problems daily, and you don't know what they are. And that's why you're looking at coins that go to poop, even though they should be worth a lot. Filecoin should be worth $150. But Ethereum's going to take over that spot, because Ethereum has failed to do what it was meant to do, which is scalability, because scalability can't happen because you operate on Java. This is why XRP is a ledger, and it's built on Linux. It's to have the ability to be IT worthy, right? Because everything comes down with the ability of IT to connect to each other without any type of problems, which is basically be able to move on what's called a trustless network, which means that you can't have a cross-chain technology. You need a multi-chain technology, and that's why Polygon will be worth so much money, because Polygon is developing the multi-chain technology that allows every cryptocurrency that can operate on a multi-chain, which is Atom, Luna,
Adam, murder.
Rune, Algorand, and all these companies, because what it does is, a Near protocol, it allows them to actually still operate on their own trustless network, meaning that the blockchain it was built on holds its security, but still it is able to move in and out of Ethereum and do smart contracts and everything that it needs without ever breaking itself. When you do a cross chain, the cross chain has a moment where you take the cryptocurrency from its chain to the next chain, and that's where the hackers get in. So cross-chain technology, if your cryptocurrency is stuck on cross-chain technology like HBAR, like Solana, you're not going to be part of the future. And that's why I don't invest in those companies. So you have to understand what's coming down the road. You can have the greatest technology in the world, but if it doesn't work with multi-chain, then you're not going to work with the entire evolution of Web3. So do you think that the other 90 companies are going to change what they do because HBAR wants in? Probably not.
Nah. No.
So
let me just say, when things seem too good to be true, guys, it's probably because they're betting on you guys not to do work and research.
You gotta
and to look into things and take the easy way out.
The whole thing is based on this. Does HBAR with Hashgraph believe that it's better than the technology of blockchain? Yes. And you know why? It's because blockchain has a lot of work to do. But the thing about blockchain is you could evolve blockchain into a deeper thing. And this is something I'll do. I'm going to make another. I think what I need to do is do a breakdown of how this entire world of technology and cryptocurrency and the evolution of cross-chain, multi-chain, what's really being built, why ICPs are being, parachains were built just because they have to eliminate the traffic that was going on Ethereum, and that was built because Ethereum was going to pick up more traffic, and then they realized there's a Java problem, so they will become just smart contracts, which evolved Polygon into the cross-chain, which connects all the other chains into a hub, which is the hub of Ethereum, so that everything can have smart contracts, which allows it to work with Polkadot and so forth. And then kind of explain to you why ICP was developed on a 4th generation cryptocurrency was developed in the middle of a 2nd generation. 2-layer coin. When you have a 4-layer, it made no sense to make it at the time that they made it. But the reason why they made it is because they need to build on top of it, right? So in order to build on top of a technology, it has to exist. So when you start to figure out how everything gets put together, you start to realize how everything works. Now the thing is that people can tell you, like, man, I love HBAR because it's half crash and it's so much better. And I mean, everyone's going to tell you that their car is the greatest. Like, everyone's going to tell you that Chevy's the greatest, or Ford's the greatest, or Mercedes the greatest, or Beamer's the greatest. And they all have hopes that you invest in their companies. But do you know how many cars like Daewoo don't exist? How many cars like the Gremlin are no longer here? How many car companies have been? There's 100 electric car companies in China.
Capacitors.
Yeah, there's 100 cars. I mean, they're just not going to happen, right? It's going to come down to what can integrate with TI, especially in today's technology. The entire world is based on TI, and if you can't work on that, then you're not going to be able to actually, like, the companies are going to do this. Companies don't want to spend have their TI guys, their IT guys, right? You got IT guys that are sitting here that are worth $30-$40 an hour. Do you think the company wants their IT guys to work on a project for 3 months, integrating it into their system, or do they want their IT guys to do it in a day? Right? Everyone knows that IT guys are there to run a system properly. But the one thing about IT guys is that they don't want to do a system unless it's actually done right. So they will pick the projects that are easily interchangeable and what we call plug and play. They're not going to take Hashgraph just because it sounds or has a better system. What works today?
That's all it is.
Like, what works now?
That, right?
Yeah. Of course. But
Next time someone says, "Hey, it's Hashgraph," you know what I'm gonna say to them? Okay, what is it? What does it do?
I'm going to make
Explain
an
it to
entire
me.
video
They're
on
not
why
gonna be able to say
Hashgraph.
anything. They can't even tell me what blockchain is half the time.
Exactly. And what it is just marketing. Does he believe that he has the greatest product? Yes. Does he believe that it's going to do certain things? Yes. Will HBAR be used in certain places? Probably. Because no matter what, they'll probably use it in a place that they can use it and use what's called the cross chain to move it over to the other blockchains because it doesn't have anything worth money like DeFi or documents that are worth cash that a hacker's trying to steal. But will IBM use HBAR to file patents and go through all the documents that are already stored in paper and put them onto a blockchain so you could easily look it up? Probably. Is that important to you or me? No. Is it going to make it worth a lot of money? No. I mean, think about it. How many libraries do you have? Do you know anyone who invested in a library? No. So,
That's a great question. I got to ask you now. If you had to pick 10 cryptocurrencies throughout every sector, what would be your top 10 then, sir?
I mean, for the money, even though you might not get it just on the technology side.
Just on technology.
Technology, you got to get XRP, XLM, XDC, Algorand, Rune, Atom, and Avalanche, Polkadot.
You're going with like all payment sectors, though.
Yeah, but hold on. But these guys right there are going to be that's the first run that you have to have because they have the opportunity to actually expand 20 to 30x when everyone else gets eliminated. Okay? The next
who's everyone else though?
Oh man, everyone else.
You mean like what about the gaming sector, the metaverse sector?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like
sector.
When you get into that, that's kind of like everyone else would be. Think about all the coins that were created to be it. You're not thinking of there's so many. There's so many coins out there that were created to be money that will completely disappear.
Solana. Okay. As currencies, not technologies.
And well, that technology, those coins are how businesses get on to blockchain. Without Atom, without Atom Cosmos, you're not. You're not getting onto. A business is going to have a hard time getting their business onto the blockchain technology without Cosmos, right? And then with them, all the 7 or 8 I just mentioned need Chainlink and Quant, and that's your top 10. Now you move on to the next sector, right? Which is Mana, Sandbox, Wild. I
didn't even hear you say Algo.
Oh yeah, Algo's in that top 10. Well, you interrupted me.
But you didn't say it.
You interrupted me on my 10. But in the gaming world, right? I'm going with Gala, Sandbox, Mana, Wild World, Pelodia, and those are kind of like, and you could pick out another 4 that are kind of like main ones, right?
Yeah, I would say Engine and VRA.
Engine, VRA, Nakamoto Games, right? And then you could be safe right there. And then when it comes to DeFi, I mean, it's really coming down to Aave, Compound? Chronos. Yeah, you need Chronos for sure. CRV. You can't even put Phantom in there anymore because Phantom isn't going to be able to operate with any of the things that are actually coming down the road. ICP in there. Binance, unfortunately, because I hate Binance. They're part of the crooks.
I do too, but they're a player.
But we need to boycott these guys. I mean, guys, down the road, we need to. We need to. Yeah.
VC.
What's up, brother?
Is Phantom even a really good hold anymore then?
Well, yeah, because when the bull run happens, all the uneducated people will buy it.
Yes, they will.
I mean, what we're talking about here.
Invest off technologies, but invest off what the people are
Yeah,
doing.
you have 2 different bags, right? You have the bags that you hold that are the future and the bags that you have for money. So is Phantom tradable? Right. Yes. When you make profits off your tradable coins, you then put that into your bags that you hold, which are the coins of the future. Right? This is where you guys have to understand, like, when you take mastermind courses and you take these type of courses, it's to teach you how to actually think, right? Like, when you guys talk about crypto, a lot of people are here like, oh, I'm going to get a coin that does this, right? When I'm talking about crypto, I'm building 7 companies in my head. right?
You're a beast, bro.
I'm not thinking about crypto as crypto. I'm thinking as of 7 companies that can rule the world, right? Like, what does this coin do?
I mean, as you should.
Right? And sometimes the ideals that they have, I'm not even investing in the token that had the ideal. I'm investing in a token that I think could do the other token's ideal. Right?
Better. Yeah. Evolve it.
Evolve it. So evolution is everything, right? So don't get carried away by following guys like Mark Cuban, and because he's buying NFTs, and it's like he doesn't even understand NFTs. Okay?
He doesn't even know what it is.
Doesn't even know what it is, right? He's just kind of like, this is really cool technology. Now he has an ideal. Now he has it. You know who's really impressed me is the guy that I was kind of looking at.
Gary Vee.
No, not Gary Vee. Gary Vee is a marketing guy. Gary Vee comes in, he's selling you some VPALs, and it's like, hey, you can hang out with me. You can be part of this restaurant. He's starting to evolve the NFT world, and the only reason he's in there is because he's figuring out that he can use NFTs to sell memberships and meetings, and he's remember what he created.
Monetizing.
He's monetizing, and remember what he created.
Yeah.
He created a wine store and put it online and sold memberships. He only knows one thing, and that's branding.
They can be marketing.
Yeah, that's it. That's Gary Vee. Now, he's good at it, right? So if you want to brand some shit,
Very
call
good.
up Gary Vee, right? Now, personally, when you look at a company, when I look at a company, I have 7 departments. I would hire Gary Vee to do my marketing, right?
Facts.
Because it's like, I like the way he does that, and I don't have to worry about will it bring in money, because his entire job is to bring in money.
Do his job correctly.
Yeah. Now, the other parts of the company I'm looking for are for evolution, scalability, longevity, and all these other things. So, following Gary Vee and buying what he's buying doesn't even make sense, because he doesn't even know how to create an NFT into something that would be sustainable for the entire society who invest in it, right? Because he doesn't understand how to create an empire that pays people for believing, not just paying people, right? And what I mean by that is, when you sell a product, if I'm in a business of selling you a product, I'm selling you a product that you're going to use to do something, right? When you buy a Gary Vee product, you're not going to buy his wines or any of his branding or his tennis shoes, and you're not going to turn around one day and that wine is going to make you rich. Okay?
Right.
What you did was bought something that he sold to you, and it's a better quality than you would have bought, and it's a better glass of wine or a better product, and you're happy with your purchase, but it's not an investment, it's a purchase. So Gary Vee doesn't make you rich. Gary Vee makes himself rich.
Makes him rich. Yeah,
Now,
absolutely. I hear what you're saying.
when you're talking about being inside of a mastermind class, the mastermind and entrepreneurs and true venture capitalists and people that have skills on other levels can create projects that will basically benefit humanity over humanity, right? Right? Gary
That's hard to
Vee.
find, though, VC. You're one of those. You know what I mean? And that's rare breed.
Yeah, but
very rare.
The problem is that they create sectors of like, their entire job is to build wealth, not
You
freedom,
saw something?
not freedom. You know what I mean? And that's the difference.
No, you said you did.
That's the whole thing about it is to build freedom over, wealth, right?
I mean, isn't that the purpose of cryptocurrency?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Cryptocurrency basically says that everybody in here who uses cryptocurrency has the right to actually, like, build a company or a product or an ideal that will then benefit them, and no one can steal it because it's copywritten and there's a record that they created it, which what makes blockchain on the blockchain. And now when you have an ideal or have you guys got to remember something. There's 8 billion people. How many people on this planet? 8 billion people.
Yeah. I don't know the exact amount, but it's up there.
If you came up with one item or one product that you can
Benefit everyone.
not even just a million people,
half of 1%.
You need half of 1% of people to look at your product and
Yeah.
go, "That's pretty cool, man. I'll order one." And if they send
Yeah,
you,
that's some shit.
let me blow your mind. Let me blow your mind. This is a project I was thinking about, right?
Oh, I understood it because when I was getting into Lazy Horse and the fastest. I'm so glad you brought this up. This is why I wanted to get into that NFT project because
Ooh, yeah.
partnering with Meta / Facebook, whatever.
Mhm.
If only half of 1% of that user base used that that NFT project or went and gambled or played raced the horses,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, and it's coming. The
Yeah,
problem is
it's
right
coming.
now, guys, is that two things that you have to understand is that these companies are basement companies. They're garage companies. What I mean by that, they're startups. They're using your money because you're the angel investor, and now they have to create products. And most people are investing, who the retail investors who are in crypto right now have two options. They have the option of super money, the option of long-term money. And most of them are choosing flip that money, because flipping money and taking advantage of the uneducated investors that are coming in is how they get rich. And then they're like, man, I'm in swimming in Cabo. I don't even care. I made my million. The good news about that is that they don't know anything about financial freedom, and they'll be back in a year and have to donate again. But
That's right.
at the end of the day, everyone's going to get taken advantage somewhere. But in cryptocurrency, you can get taken advantage of and actually get educated and go, I see where I messed up. And then you can become better, and then you can take advantage of people. And here's the difference of what we talk about here. Everyone will one day be taken advantage of.
Everyone.
The difference is if you get taken advantage of or you do business with some company, you have to make the decision on who you're doing that business with. If you're giving your money to companies and businesses that have shown that they do not care about environment, the people, giving back, or respect humanity, then you're part of the problem. But if you're donating to people that have not proven that they are for that or aren't against that, then at least you're trying. But when you find someone who wants to build projects, help people get a better world, and help people grow, then you support that person. Hence, Papa Doge. You can say whatever you want about Elon, but Elon is creating things over and over, and he's telling the people, he's giving you hints, right? And if you say, well, man, he's creating a solar car, and that solar car is worse than gas because all the G5 towers and everything they use, blah, 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 maybe you're right. But let me tell you something. Maybe you're right because we haven't got there yet. But what I can tell you that is technology can change these things from happening. So what you're worried about might not even happen because the guy is probably already thinking of something to build to solve the problem that you're worried about, but you haven't let it actually happen. But what I will tell you is that how many people who sell electric cars will come on his Twitter and go to the world and say, hey, man, we need to start digging for more gas right now because if we're going to war, everyone's going to starve if we don't have gas, right? When you think he would be telling you to buy electric cars, right? He didn't tell you to buy electric cars. He told people that we need gas, right?
Right.
Because why? Because he cares if you eat.
Yeah, didn't he say that? He said, listen, I can solve world hunger. How much? 40 billion? He was going to give it freely away.
Yes.
What other millionaire or conglomerate for guru is even suggesting that?
Who's even suggesting it? And that's kind of where people have to understand. You're not even in the element. Open up your mind. Stop reading stupid articles and watch what people are doing by their action. He's trying to show you that everything around you is a lie. And that you're not listening to the right people or the right freedoms. And you guys don't even know that right now there's so much stuff going out there, man. I mean, guys, your own governments and your own, well, not even the government, your politicians, right? The people that you have in charge of your states are cutting off diesel fuels, and they're cutting off natural supplies that are needed for farmers to create grains. And you have to ask yourself, well, if we're in war with Russia and we don't have any grain, we can't have any breads. What's the cheapest thing to eat? Bread.
Right.
right? So why would your politician be making it hard for the farmers that farm grain to farm grain? Why would they be cutting off tractor gas? Why would they be cutting off
Destroying crops.
right? Why would they be destroying crops? Why are they cutting off fertilizer? I mean, I don't. I mean, I don't.
They're trying to create a dynamic here. You know that, right?
Well, I mean, you have to say to yourself, why do I have to explain that to you? If I asked you
Right.
why
Why
your
did you see it?
politician, who is taking fertilizer and gas away from the farmers who are going to make the bread that you need to eat and survive, can you go find out why they did that? Because I don't know. Why? I mean, I'm not going to explain it to you. Why don't you explain it to me?
Right.
Why am I always explaining the obvious? I think I'm at the point now that I don't want to explain to you why it looks like you're being held up by gunpoint because there's a guy with a gun. I want you to explain to me what you think he's doing.
Wow. Yeah.
Because I'm just, I think the problem is the smart people are doing all the talking right now, and the uneducated people are going, no, he's not really robbing me. The gun is just for our safety.
You know, they think they're not doing it though. They think it's not being done. They think it's all
Right, but I already
that's
told you what that was.
conspiracy because they made that word up to
Right, but here's the point.
disassociate us with
I
reality.
don't. But here's the thing. Why do we need to debate what's a conspiracy or not? Why don't you just go ask your governor or your mayor or whoever's stopping gas, diesel, or fuel to farmers for them to actually make breads? Why don't you call the farmers that are being cut out from making food and find out what happened to them, and then call the people who did it to them and ask them why they did it, and then come tell us the reason why they did it and what was so great about it and why they're helping us. Like, why are we explaining to you why there won't be any food? Why don't you go tell me why there won't be any food? Right?
Yeah, why aren't you believing this?
Well,
Why aren't you
I don't
upset
even
about
need
this?
you to
And why
believe me
you keep going
anymore.
along
I don't
with your
even
life
care
like
if you're
everything's
upset
okay?
anymore. But that's what I'm saying. Like, when you say that, Drizzy, you're creating a reaction. Human instinct is to defend themselves. If I told you that you were being taken advantage of, or your girlfriend's banging 5 guys at a nightclub, you would defend her.
Ego.
You would defend her because your girl would never blow someone in a bathroom for
Because
$100
you feel
bucks.
like you're getting taken advantage of.
Right. Because you
Yeah,
would think that
yeah,
your
you
girl,
do.
because
Right.
you lay the pipe down so well that there's no way your girl would get paid $500 to do a porn. But I just saw her on YouPorn.
Oh, that makes sense.
But see, that would never be your girl.
Yeah, it is all ego.
It's all ego, right? They don't now. But if I said to you, instead of making you defensive to prove that you're smart, or that there's no way that they're going to stop all the food and try to starve us to death in order to
Yeah, it
take
sounds
control.
too far-fetched.
Yeah, that's too far fetched, because you know what? I'm too smart for that. I would know.
Yeah.
I would know if they
That
were
would never
doing
happen
that.
in real life.
Yo,
It sounds like a
VC,
movie.
I would know. Okay, well, let me ask you
Yeah,
something.
I would know if
Can
that
you
was
go?
happening.
Can you go check on why they're taking all the gas and fertilizer from the farmers who are growing the bread, which is the only thing we need because we're at war with Russia right now. We don't have any grain. Can you go figure that out for me? Thanks, bro.
Isn't that you
Hey, listen.
all the weed?
Can you go down to this nightclub here at about 2:00 in the morning and check the parking lot and see if there's any redheaded brunettes that look like your girl in a Chevrolet?
That's deep, man.
I mean, I don't know.
And,
Can you go check
I
for
like
me?
how you break that down. You make it. It's
Come
like
check for
basic
me.
psychology, and you're giving it to them in a way they can understand it.
Because they have to understand that yes, you're a
Right.
girl too,
Right.
right? Your man
Right.
too, right? Do you understand? Like, guys, stop not believing and start researching, right? You think people are just making this up? You think people are like, hey, man, they're cutting off the gas and the fertilizer to the farmers. You think people are randomly saying that because they have nothing else better to do with their life except worry about food? They're wondering what's
Yeah.
happening to the food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Could you imagine every time someone ran out of a burning building, there's a fire, and you're like, I don't believe it. There's smoke in a window. No, I don't believe it.
That's basically what it is. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You know when I knew it was real?
But
BC?
why
This is when I knew
listen,
it was
why
real.
would there be a fire in a building? You're crazy, Drizzy. That never happens.
Dude, think about this. You're literally trying to tell people how you can become a millionaire just off your phone. And they won't even look into it.
No, you can't look into it because there's a girl who's standing in a bathing suit talking about the time she had
That's
ice
thinking.
cream.
That's
right?
crazy, man. Yeah, exactly. Okay, too much butt is bouncing up and down the screen.
There's not.
But
It's
there's
not
dude saying, "Hey, you
entertaining.
guys want to know what the APR
Listen,
is?"
listen. There's somebody right now going on their microphone and putting shaving cream on their mic. Hello, I had peanut
No, you're
butter.
great.
I had peanut butter. Oh, peanut butter.
Yo, he's different.
Peanut butter.
It puts the lotion on his skin.
Listen.
It's crazy. Man. It's true though. It's fucking crazy.
I mean, let me be personally honest, guys. If you don't believe it, you don't understand it. Let me tell you where my humanity ends. My humanity ends with a level of do as much as possible that doesn't cause
doing nothing
me
at all?
my humanity. Meaning that
Oh, okay.
trying to warn you, tell you, educate you, help you get there while getting where I need to be. At the end of it, and I'm not, see, you know, they put a rear view mirror, right? And the reason why the rear view
Why?
mirror is 2% as big as the entire windshield, right?
Okay.
You know
So
why?
Focus forward.
Yeah, because the only thing you need to see is forward.
Right.
So,
Stop always looking back.
yeah, I'm not going to, when this all goes down and they're beating people into cages or whatever happens, just, I mean, like
Yeah.
right now, and if you don't know what's going to happen, go look at Shanghai. And they're
That's
having this
crazy.
all happen.
That is crazy.
Hey, listen, I'm just saying there's a thing called Google. Everyone's trying to show you stuff. If you don't want to stand with me or with all of us, the 99 percenters, and you become part of the 30 percenters and they're doing what they need to do with you, us 79 percenters will have ways to survive and we will work together to come back. But don't expect us to come and get you because you weren't here.
We tried to tell you.
Yeah, we tried to tell you. You made that song. I tried to tell you.
You know, I see that happening in a different way, though. I understand the whole cages, and I kind of look at it metaphorically, almost.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I see
you-
cages being
yes.
almost financial cages. You understand what I'm
Well,
saying?
yeah, because how
Like,
do you enslave the richest
You're
country in the
beyond.
world?
they're going to be dependent on the government, right? They're going to
I need my
Yeah,
Mountain
This
Dew.
is robots, straight like that, and the only people that are going to.
It sounds good. I mean, at the end of the day, does it sound good? I mean, okay, listen. At the end of the day, if they were like, listen, guys, no more jobs, no more work. What we need you to do is
That's
simply
happening.
this. Yeah, here you go. We're going to create a bunch of robots. There's cars that drive you everywhere around. What we need you to
Right.
do is to put this tracker inside your body. We need to have a microphone on your phone so that we know everything you say. And as long as you just act like a really good citizen, walk around, cause no problems, do nothing against the law, then you can live a
Right.
perfect life and we'll feed you until the end. The shit sounds great. Like,
It doesn't to me.
yeah, but see, it sounds great until you're living that life. And you go to yourself
Yeah.
and it's 12
You just
o'clock
have
at
to
night
trust-
and you're like, you know what, man? I'm going to Vegas. And they go,
You can't.
You can't.
afford it. We don't deem that accessible to your budget.
yeah,
Because
that's,
it's all far down.
yeah, you can't. Okay, all right.
You can't.
Can I have a pizza? No, you already
No.
you already ate.
You ate already.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's prison. No.
No,
And you know
but
what's
listen,
gonna be
dude,
between
listen.
things?
Why are you
People like us.
complaining, bro? You have a house with a pool. Where do you really need to go? Just get on accident. Look, put the VR goggles on and go hit
Yeah,
a
get to the metaverse.
yeah. Get the
Exactly.
metaverse.
That's where
There's a
they're gonna be
brunette
at.
and a blonde in
That's
the
where they're
metaverse.
gonna be.
Don't worry about it.
Disassociate them from actual real life.
Yeah, which is okay. I mean, shit, do what you gotta do.
Control them.
I'm just saying. You have to understand
You know
that.
what's crazy, these things? We sound crazy real quick to the normal person, but look at our intentions when we even speak on these things. It isn't to say that we know something.
No, I
more
mean,
than
listen,
them.
you
It
can.
is to help.
Well, listen, this is all about debates, right? What you have to learn, Drizzy, is that our opinion of something really doesn't matter. See, here's two things that have to exist, right? The fact is that
Yeah.
our opinion doesn't matter because everyone has the right to live their own life, okay?
Right.
And I'm not here to judge you, right?
Yeah.
And if you want to take the blue pill and live that life, you can do it,
Hey,
right?
Godspeed.
All that I'm asking is that me allowing you to do the blue pill, could you please make sure that I'm allowed to do the red?
Right. And yes,
That's it.
if I want to be one of the rich that make it, let me.
That's it. I mean, I don't want.
Yeah.
I'm not here to debate your life. Your life is your life. Do whatever you want. Do what makes you happy, man. But that's
Choices.
choices, right? But let's
That's
all
right.
let's all come together and agree one thing, that we all have the right to choices.
That's right. That's all I will care about.
Yeah, that's it. That's all. That's all we need to care about. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Like we don't need to care about anything else. We all have the right for choices. And that's it. And
Right.
that's the only thing that we need to stand together on is the right of choice. I don't need to understand your choice.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to
I
understand.
do need to understand that you can make it.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm
That's
saying. That's that's the importance of this, right? Is everyone is debating what people are allowed to do or not. No, we don't have that right. Listen, you have
Isn't that crazy?
you have a good 40 to 80 years on this world, right? If you live to 90, you did well.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, let's be
60
honest.
did well.
Yeah, 50 of them are your best years of your life. Now,
Yeah.
that's not a lot of time.
It's not.
If you think about it, that's like 2.5 dogs, right? And at the end of the day,
14 years, man.
14 years. At the end of the day,
13.
does anybody really like can we all come to agreement and say there's just not enough time?
There isn't.
There isn't.
Time
So
is so precious, man.
right. So why are we getting in the way of people living their best life?
Their
Like
best life.
that's it. It's just time. That's it. So that's all I'm really focused on is like letting people just live their best life. And if that's
Right.
that's it. That's all we have to stand for. That we don't have to debate all the things that you want to do in life. Nobody really cares. At the end of the day, the only thing I care is that you get to live your best life, and I will stand up for anything that makes your best life, as long as it doesn't hurt and harm anybody, and as long as you agree to stand up for my best life. And
I love
that's
you,
it.
too.
And that's all. That's all you need.
You're a real one, man.
We don't have to. We don't need to debate whether or not anything that you want to do in life makes sense, and anything I want to do in my life makes sense. All we have to do is look at each other and be like, "Listen, man, I'm gonna make sure you have the right to do what you want to do, as long as you don't hurt nobody, and you just make sure that I have the right to do it too." And we both say to each other, like, "That sounds fair," because we're not getting into each other's life. We're not getting into each other's decisions. We're not getting into each other's world. We're just deciding that we both have the right to live a life. Is
That's
it
deep.
is it that hard to come to that very simple conclusion? Like, doesn't
That's
everyone
why
just
that's
have a
deep.
right? Right. And that's what blockchain is so good, because blockchain technology allows us to basically do something where we have the right to barter with each other and build things that we want to build, and not be taxed to death because our politicians need a raise.
Yeah, they need $40,000
Yeah.
furniture allowance.
Right. When they like, look, if you're not making enough money as the senator, then get a second job.
Yeah, that's what we got to do.
Right. What made we hired you to do a job. You didn't.
Yeah,
We
can't
don't.
hire you to be rich.
Yeah, you're not a king. You don't own this
Public
land.
servant.
You're a public
Exactly,
servant.
but that's what it turned into. It turned into that. Wow.
That's right. But that's why we just have to turn it back, because you got to understand, we are not the servant here. They are.
You've evolved my mind a lot right now.
And that's what people have to understand. Like it just comes.
Perception's a lot.
Yeah, it just comes down to that. It's like, it's at the end of the day, we are not the servants. They are the public servants. It's in their damn title.
Right.
And
Just like the
somehow
police are.
it's somehow the servant decided to make themselves the boss. That makes no sense.
How did that happen, man?
And how it happened was we all got busy in our own life, and they started writing laws that made them the boss. Right? There was a corporate takeover, and we didn't even know.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it's crazy. You go back and you really start looking into the Constitution and stuff, and
The
you
Constitution
really
was
start
written
reading
for
some of it,
one
man. We're not
reason.
supposed to even be paying taxes in the first fucking place.
No, the
That was a
Constitution,
voluntary act.
the Constitution was written for one reason, to basically,
Protect the people.
yeah, from this, because they know that when the
Yes.
people are living their life, going to pools, celebrating birthdays, that the people who were running and working would come to a conclusion that they're entitled to something. Entitlement is the death of a nation.
Hey, that's deep.
And that's where we're at today. The entitlement of the people we elected to run our company. The entitlement of the people who don't have jobs, who want everything. The entitlement of people who think their feelings are important, more important than others. The entitlement of people thinking what they think is better than what you think. The entitlement of thinking that every kid deserves a trophy. The entitlement that you believe that you can change everything this country was built on over the last 100 years just because you don't feel the same way today.
Wow.
Entitlement is the death of a nation. And that's the book I'm going to write.
Man, that's a movie right there.
That's how we do it, bro. We do it big. But
We
that,
make this, listen, we're gonna make a coin for the people, bro. And if we can get a developer, we can get the right 5 people together, that engineer. Everything.
Coins are
We
simple,
can
bro.
Really make a coin
Look.
for the people, by the people. That is deflationary. That I will burn my whole bag just so that the people can make money. And
Here,
what?
watch this, bro. Watch
We
this.
don't know where that could go.
I'm going to
Because
play.
the people are tired, bro. I don't care.
Are
Even,
they?
like,
But
the
here,
baby
listen. Are
boomers.
they? Listen. The weirdest thing in the world is this, right? And let me ask you. And let's run a test. Okay. So there's a VC coin, right? A venture capitalist coin. The entire thing about a venture capitalist coin is just the belief that crowdfunding will one day create something, and just crowdfunding. So if you're crowdfunding, right, and you're paying for the right to be in a crowd, to then get information and data that enriches your life or allows you to earn information that could make you wealthy, right? And the coin is based on $100 increments, right? And what the coin will do is, as it goes through the wallets, it'll randomly choose people that are participating and give out trophies. Okay?
Badges or whatever. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, and the trophy will be an NFT. And it could be an NFT that gives you a...
Got some airdrops on it.
Yeah, an airdrop. You just get an NFT. Now, this NFT could be an NFT where you get a mastermind course, right? So instead of spending $10,000 to spend a year with me, or $5,000 to have a consultation with me, where you buy $100 token, $100 worth of VC coin, and then the coins just randomly get selected, and there's airdrops, right? And just for starting off, right, you get to, when you buy, when you reach $1,000 worth of venture capitalist coin, you get basically a 1-hour consultation a month where you can just pick my brain, or in part of a what's called a mastermind group, right? Now these NFTs get dropped to you, right? And they're rewards, they're trophies for being part of the group. And what it basically does, it eliminates all the people who aren't serious, right? Because the problem is everybody wants to be rich, but
they don't want to put the work in.
Right. Or they don't, right. And they want to come into a meeting and talk about everything that's on their mind, but they're not invested. Right? I can't tell you how many times I've had 3 to 4 hour conversations with people who want to be invested, and then when it's time to be part of a project, be like, "Oh, I'm not ready." But yet you wasted.
Life does happen though, VC. You got to look at it. They might want to at that time, and then it maybe took too. Like, you got to remember, You're different, man, and you could pull 10, 20,000 and do something. There's people out here struggling, man, and sometimes it's hard to pull $100, $200 together.
Right, but that's
I
what.
mean, look, it's a
So
20-ounce bottle of soda is almost $3.
yeah. But listen. And so the reason why it takes so long to figure out how to benefit everyone is because
Yeah.
you have to figure out a way to charitize something that benefits everyone, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
I just made your point.
Yeah. So, and a lot of times you also have to follow regulations, right? So, like, a lot of
Yeah.
people come to me and say, "Yo, VC, can you invest this money for me?" And I'm like, "No."
Yeah, because the tax. Yeah, hell no.
Yeah, because what
I mean,
happens
that's the
is,
hard
let's say I have a company. Like, if you wanted to basically buy into one of my companies and be like, "Yo, I'm see, like, for me, you don't even buy into into what I do. So if you wanted to
Shit, I would.
so if you so if you wanted to say, "Yo, I think VC is can if anyone can make money in this world, VC can make money."
It's me too.
Right?
Yeah, you're a sure bet.
Yeah, and you turn around and I've been trying to think of how to do this because people don't understand. I don't tell you no because I don't like you or don't want your family to eat or want you to be rich. Is because I can't take money and invest it for you because if we created a fund like that, then I would have to become a hedge fund. I would have to make a business. I would have to register with the SEC. I would be part of the what's it called the we just went over it the blank.
BBA or BBB?
No, what's it
Better
called?
Business
The Howie thing, right?
Oh, the Howie test.
Yeah. So I mean, you
Security,
can.
not security.
Yeah. I mean, you can. Yeah. I mean, so I can't create a product or something that you're buying into, and then I'm the one making it worth money, and then that would be basically an asset. Then we'd have to register that asset with the SEC. But
Yeah, and then you're paying dividends.
yes, you're paying dividends. But what you can do is you can, I was thinking to myself, like, because there's a lot of people that are like, "Yo, I'm gonna," they'll be like, "Hey, man, can we do this or that?" And I'll be like, "Well, I'll tell you what, man, I'm gonna go buy something. Can you lend me some money?" Right? And there's a lot of my friends that lend me money, and then, I give them back their money, and I give them a thank you present for lending me
A
money,
gift.
a gift, right? I gift them something, right? Appreciation gift, right? But you can't
I
do
like
that
it.
with 100,000 people.
It's money laundering.
Yeah. So I mean,
Straight racketeering.
Yeah.
Embezzlement.
yeah. So for me, it's like, what do you create, right? So the reason why there's a venture capitalist coin, right? Like, have you been to the venturecapitalistcoin.io?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So that's just crowdfunding. And what that
Yeah.
is I use it to, when people are in the Discord, they can, like, if they don't know how to set up a wallet, they can buy their monthly dues on it and then learn how to set up a trust wallet. And I have a lot of people that will buy
You're
VC.
teaching.
Yeah, they'll buy VC coin and they'll send it back. One guy went and bought it and then sent it, instead of sending it to the payment wallet, he sent it back to the VC coin wallet. And he burnt he burnt $400,
Oh man.
which is okay because the coin, it's my coin, so the money's in it. Just when you burn the coin, it didn't
compensate, but still.
it didn't mean anything, but it had
That's
that.
a good mistake to make. At least he made it with you.
Yeah, and he was paying me, so wasn't a big deal.
Yeah,
And it's still in my coin. It's just I just have to create. I just have to send from the dev wallet. Yeah, I just have to send the amount of coins from a different wallet. You know. So
Yeah, I mean, people I see on your Discord say, "Hey, how do you get your money back that you messed up sending it to KuCoin? I sent it on the wrong smart chain."
oh my god, dude, there's one
I
guy
see
who,
that all the time on your
bro,
show.
I gotta help this guy out. He sent 40 grand or something the other day. I think it was.
Damn, yo, what? Oh my god.
Fuck him, it is not.
Yeah, I mean, like 20,000 or something. He tried to send to Nexio or something.
Man. I seen another one with KuCoin. I see it all the time on your stuff.
It's you got. Oof. I've
You know,
never.
I've done it.
I've
Russian.
I've never really thought about it. Because every day I'm sending money everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like 5,000 here, 3,000 here, 2,000, and then one day I was sending like 20,000, 40,000, and then I read that thing that happened, right, and I went to send money and I stopped, and I started reading everything, and I was like,
Yeah, you got scared.
yeah, and I thought to myself, I was like,
Things happen for a reason.
yo, bro, and I was like, this shit is really risky.
Yes, it is.
I mean,
You're just so comfortable. You don't
because
even realize it.
once you send that, yeah, I mean, I'm over here ripping 5, 10, 15 grand around like daily.
I don't even double check some things because I'm so comfortable.
Yes.
Trust me,
And-
I've screwed over myself twice doing that.
And I thought to myself, like, man, it's so hard. This money's gone forever. But then I go to the MSNBC, and it's like all I hear about is how they're recovering everything.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. How are they able to- I wrote the Binance and I sent.
Yeah, like how are they always recovering their money,
That's a very good question.
but you can't recover ours?
Yeah. The fix it then.
I mean, because you do know that the ledger says that money did go the wrong way. So
Yes.
what are you? I mean, why are you not like responsible for helping that? I mean, first of
So
all,
what's that? Lost and found? It sits in a. Is it just out there?
well, okay, so you have a coin and you send it down the wrong ledger, right?
Right.
It just goes down this highway. If there is no
Is it stuck in a
destination,
block?
yeah, if there is no destination, it just keeps going, right?
So it's in the cloud.
Yeah, it's just out there. Now, if you send it to the wrong address, like the burn address, like how he sent the money,
Sure.
he burnt it. Like if you send a coin to its own address, it burns the coin.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So if you go, like you go look up a coin and you get the address.
Yeah, the contract.
If you get the contract address and go buy $100 and then send it to that contract address,
contract address.
you essentially burnt the token.
Wow. I
So-
didn't know that.
Yeah.
So
Because
that's how they burn tokens.
yeah, because
I've
that
always heard them say that.
Yeah,
He decided to burn them all. How the fuck you do that?
yeah, because the token address has no wallet. You see what I'm
The more you
saying?
know.
It's
I
it's
can
a
admit, I
it's
don't
a
know
creation. Like when they
That's
made the
awesome.
block, when they created your coin, the coin was given a minting number. But that
Mhm.
minting number is just it's the factory where things come out of.
some- Right.
There's no way to go into the factory and pull from it because it's a computer. Now, is it possible? Like, could somebody with real developing skills go, well, you know what? If we went into the developer wallet or the creator wallet or whatever, the creator, because what happens is when you create a coin, you have to give a wallet that you make the dev wallet, right? The developer wallet.
Right.
And what happens
yeah.
is it's like forwarding a phone call. Coins like when a coin is bought or when the coin blockchain is created and it starts minting tokens. It has a smart
Right.
contract that says every time you mint, send it to this wallet.
Yeah.
It doesn't have its own storage. So when you send coins to it, it just eats it. Now, if a developer who knew more about, because I don't build coins, there might be a way to go into that wallet at some point and say, well, yeah, it's just sitting inside of this blockchain somewhere. Like, so it exists, but it's in the chain, and then go into the blockchain and pull it out of it.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, just like
There's a lot of
okay,
shit with it.
so let's say if you go on XLM and you send a coin on XLM or XRP, and it's on the ledger, but you forget to put the memo in, right?
Right. Which that happens.
Yeah, it just keeps going around on the ledger. So can they recover it? Yes, they can see it. But what
Yeah, it's going on.
what XRP and XLM don't tell you is that they can stop any transaction and reverse it.
Not the exchanges.
Right, not the exchanges, but the coin itself.
VC.
Yeah.
I just caught some market structure on Graph on the 4-hour chart. I'm about to send you a picture of it, but yeah.
Yeah, Graph is on a long
Hey,
right
it's
now.
about to go up. It's actually about to fall. Graph's going to drop. It's doing the same thing twice. I'm about to make the boxes so you can see it. I love being able to chart, by the way.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
So it's information.
Well, because no, I mean, do you know why I can chart?
Why? Why?
Because I educated myself.
That's right.
Why can you chart? Oh, I know why.
Yeah. I mean,
Because you educated yourself.
yeah, pretty much.
That's all we gotta teach people, man. Is that if you want anything bad enough in life, you have to go get it.
Dude, XRP is going to 61 cents.
Going down to right.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's funny you said that because I thought maybe a 59 because I have a buy order right there right now.
He said 59. He said,
Seriously.
I'm going to the low.
And that was just mind-boggling. Even if it's 60, I'm jumping back in there. But I'm trying to get the low 50x leverage 1,000. That's 50 racks. As soon as that shit hits $1 something on an isolated margin, yeah, give me that.
But see, that's what people have to understand, man. This is deeper than that, right? So that's why. So the VC coin is it's a test, right? Because everyone always asks me to help them out, and I'm always like, well, if we were actually going to do a project would take a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you go to any other company in the world, you can put your money in the bank, right? And at the end of the year, you get 0.006%. If you go to a hedge fund, you get 2% and 3%, right? And at the end of the day, if you're looking for, tremendous opportunity to learn how to 10x, 12x, 20x your money, it really comes down with the ability to spend time and get educated.
Right. You gotta get the education first, man.
Yeah. And that comes from the ability of actually showing you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to show you how to trade and do all these things, like it like physically takes time. Like, when I'm teaching and educating people how to trade, that means I'm not trading. Right? And if I trade, my trades are 80 grand each.
God damn right.
So when I trade like on Doge today, right? So
Yeah.
I did one platform where I did Doge. I was like, listen, for everyone who doesn't understand what mastermind classes is, I always tell everyone with $50, you can make 100 grand a year. So I put $50 in Doge a day, did a 20x, and made $420 today. Right? Now in another account, I put 40 grand at 20x.
Yeah. Now talk to him.
So, but the problem is you have to watch these accounts. That's why I really want like, did you see me in the Discord? Did you see all the alerts I put out in the morning?
Yeah, I seen all the charts.
Yeah. And that's because I didn't want to talk for the rest of the day because I was trading.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So,
I can always tell when you're busy because I can't get a hold of you for shit.
well, because I didn't want to, if I'm going to make money, I can't.
You're working.
I'm working. Like you're watching 1 minute charts. Like you can't even take a shit. Like you're not even allowed to take a piss, because they could wick you out for $50,000.
I know, bro. I know that. You know what I realized playing, like even going from messing with $100 and then trading with $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, entries are fucking important. So imagine if you're going from $1,000 and you're margining $10,000.
Yes.
That wick out is real.
That wick out is real. It hurt. Like there's a lot of people when they get wicked out, like, damn, I just lost $40. Do you know what it feels like to get wicked out for 40 grand?
Yeah. I don't, but I can imagine.
Yeah.
My butthole puckered up just now.
Yeah. Right. You get a little tighter, right? You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
You whistle a little bit more.
But listen, when you get to a certain level, though, like honestly, like this shit pisses me off. KSI lost $3 million margining. First off, my guy, you have $3 million.
Yes.
Why the fuck are you margining?
Why are you margining? Right.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
You could literally. Yo, man, people are dumb, bro.
But that's why I try to tell
You know,
you guys,
people
listen.
margins to get there.
Yeah, but that's why I tell you, when I tell you guys, like, listen, you don't need to trade every day, right? Notice when I disappear, it's on days that are guaranteed winners.
Yeah.
Like, I knew Doge last night would go from 12 to at least 15 cents.
Why didn't you alert me that? Say, hey, I know for facts this is the price.
I thought
Come
I put
on,
it
man.
out, bro.
I'm
pretty sure.
I'm over here freaking struggling, grinding. Well, I'm learning more than anything. I had to put the computer down because I need to get back to fundamentals because I lost myself chasing. Because I had to look at me because
Bro,
this
listen,
chart
listen.
reveals who you are to yourself.
Look.
It does.
Doge happens every week. You just don't know it. Doge happens 5 to 10 times a week. You just don't know it. And
I
if
just don't pay attention.
you don't pay attention, but if all you did was sit back and watch the greatest coins that have the biggest movements, and you're like, okay, man, you're almost down. You're almost down. Oh, you jumped a little bit. Okay, I'll come back to you later. You're almost down. You're almost down. And all of a sudden, you look over and it's like Gala's at 16 cents. And you know it's coming up with information. You know there's some type of leak coming out. You know something's going to happen, right? That's like looking at, like so many of these coins make certain moves, right? And you could just look at them and be like, man, that's really cheap. Man, like like today, the guy was like, yo, one of my guys, iInc, he got in. He's like, yo, I got in the Phantom at $1. I'm like, $1? Damn.
Yeah, which $1.03. I did a video last night on it. I said, guys, you guys are bugging.
I mean, but think about it, and then you sit there and you go, all right, this is going to happen. And you got your bag, right? And you're like, I'm 20x in this bag. And as soon as the pump starts to happen and you see it all working and you got that confirmation and all of a sudden you see people, everyone's on it, you dump in and you just sit back and you collect. And then you get out and you're like, all right, man, I just 4x'd my bag. And then you sit back and you're like, what's my next move? And you take a day, you take the next day, you take the next day, and you're like, here it is. And you get it in again, right? And you make that one bet, and that bet goes up 2x. And you're like, okay, I'm in. And right? And you move to the next thing. And then all of a sudden you 1x. And you're like, ooh, that was close, but I still made my x. If you did that every month, right? And it should be like weekly. The goal weekly is to find 2 good trades, right? 2 times a week, you need to find a good trade. And this is what the mastermind is. See, the mastermind isn't about trading. The mastermind project, right? So, I mean, when people, I got a $10,000 course that'll show you, it's mentality. I got a $10,000 course that'll teach you to be a millionaire. And what it teaches you is that there's no fucking rush.
Yeah, patience.
Yeah, that's why you guys always hear me.
Down.
You'll hear me say the same shit over and over. Like, hey guys, let me show. Look how easy it is, though, right? But it has to be reiterated. If you have $100, okay, and you trade it twice, or let's say 3 times a week, right? 3 trades, and you get a nice little 5% times 10, right? 10x, 5%. That basically means that you're getting about 25% of what you're doing, right? And we'll say 20. And you do that 3 times a week, right? So bottom line is you made 60% on your $100. The second week, you do the same thing, 3 good trades. That's 120%. So that's easy to say that at least after 2 weeks, you have doubled your $100 to 200, right? We can agree on that?
Right. Yes.
The next 2 weeks, you do the same process and you double that 200. Okay? So now you have $400 for your first month. You do the same process again. At the end of the next month, you have $1,600. You do the same process again. At the end of the 3rd month, you have $6,400. You do the same process again. At the end of 4 months, you have $25,000. You do the same process again. At the end of 5 months, you have $100,000. Do it again. Okay. You have $400,000 in 6 months.
That's DeFi right now. You know that, right?
Well, that is the element of compound interest times 10.
Yes. Yes, exactly. You're the DeFi.
Yeah.
With trading.
Yes. Exactly. Now, everyone out there screams, "Yo, VC, I like, you know how many trades I put out there? You know how many times I called SHIB and it ran for 300, 400%?
All the time.
And I told you, I say, yo, guys, I'm putting 10 grand. And people were like, man, I put 100. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, did you think I said I was putting 10 grand because I wasn't trying to hint to you that this is probably fucking big?
Yeah.
Right? And there's some people that follow me who put 5 to 10 grand and like, yo, VC, I made $70,000. I just want to say thank you, brother. Off one trade.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Right? So I try to do as much as I can. And a lot of times people will be with me for like 6, 7, 8 months and they'll be like, I haven't traded yet. They just can't pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Why do
Because-
you think I said what I said to you, VC? I would fucking be gone if you.
Well, here's
Ain't nothing like being in person to like always do a monitor.
Right,
Man. It's not
right.
the
And what I want to
But
do
wanna
is,
see how your day to day is. It's more of a lifestyle thing.
yes. So what I was thinking to
Get your
myself,
brain in.
yeah, and here's what I was thinking, right? How can you benefit from what I know, right? And get the experience of real shit. Not fucking Ty fucking Lopez who doesn't know what
Right.
real estate is but read a book and copied a couple charts and convinced you that
Human
you should
shit,
yeah.
man. Like fucking personal
Shillers.
shit, bro.
Yeah, shillers. Like these guys are just like Gary Vee is a shiller. Lopez,
Yeah.
shiller, right? These people are shillers. Now,
Yeah.
can I go shill? Yes. Can I?
Yeah, you could do it.
I could shill all day, right? What I'm trying to do, unfortunately, my entire life has been about building businesses by building people into businesses and then taking a small percent of the business for the rest of my life. Meaning that they work for me forever as long as they're making money.
You're Shark Tank in it, nigga.
Huh?
You own some Shark Tank.
Yes.
I'll give you 3.5% for a loan, and I get
Yes.
this percentage of the company.
Yes. But here's the difference, right?
You're on some,
Yeah, I'm way bigger than Shark Tank. See, Shark Tank, everybody
I love
comes,
it.
they come with the ideals, right? Where I already have the businesses built. I show you how to build them or how to run them. And then while you're running them, I step away and I build another business and then someone else runs it. And I got all these people running
It's
businesses.
Passive income. You're causing streams. I
Yeah,
understand what you're doing.
that's it. That's it. That's all I do. I get paid
Yeah.
a shitload of money
Great.
to teach people how to make $100,000 a year, right?
Live your best life.
But they and they do. I listen. If I could honestly tell you, right, and it's so funny, I don't care about money, and I've never cared about money because I've never seen where money didn't exist. Like I grew up with this woman, right, who just made money. Like she sold everything. Like she sold peaches and clothes and jewelry and she
a hustler,
she
yeah.
was a hustler. So she
Yeah,
would
she's a
just dump
hustler.
her purse out and there'd just be money.
That's gangster. I
So
like that.
yeah, and I never ever thought that it couldn't be money because then when I got older, I used to shoot pool and I made money. I used to
Right.
go shoot dice and I made money. I used to buy stuff and sell it and I made money. And I always thought to myself, as long as people need shit, I can sell it to them and make money.
Right.
So I know that I will never be out without money because I can just go sell some shit and make money. Like this is the greatest fucking country in the world. Because
Yeah, but you sell money basically at the end of the day.
yeah.
You're selling not the idea. You're selling them to show them how to get the money, and you're in return.
Well, yeah, because what
making
happened
money.
was I realized that if I was the guy who had to go out every day, okay, so I built businesses like this. I went out and was like, okay, people need products. And then I would go to wholesalers, buy the boxes of products, put them into an office and train people how to go door to door selling the shit in the major cities. And then they would, and what I did was what's called consignment. So you would come to a job offer. I'm not going to get too in detail on what I do, but you would come for a job. I would show you how to sell and market, and then I would fill your car full of shit, and we would go around the city and we would walk around selling shit. And I would educate you on how to make this money. And then at the end of every day, I would say, okay, listen, you sold 3 of these, 2 of these are $1 each. These are this, and you would pay me my money, right? And then you would keep the other amount of money, right? So if you sold a bear or let's say a coloring book for $10, I would take 7, you would take 3, but you had 10 of them, so you made $30, right? And then on the weekends, I would give you 70-30. So then you would go out on the weekend and you would sell the same 10 books, but you would make 70. So this way, the Saturdays, you would, instead of making 100 to 110 bucks a day, you would make $200-300 on a Saturday. So your entire week was made in one day. So the rest of the week, you were excited to be there because you knew on Saturday, the last day you were working, instead of you being tired and not at your best, it's on the greatest day ever. It's Saturday where everyone's off and everyone's talking. And you would literally go out and make you'd make basically 70% or 50% of the money you made all week in a day. Right? And if you could do this for 8 weeks in a row while I'm teaching you, then I would give you somebody to go show what I just showed you. And then you would build a team. And if you built 10 people, then I would just put you in your own office somewhere and say, hey, I opened an office over here. Can you take your team over there and do this for me in this area? And then they would go do it. And then I would give them at the end of the day that when we take our part of the money for the business, I would then give them 60% of the profit and I would take 40. And 20 of it would pay for the office and the building and pay all the bills. And I would get 10% of that, what was left. And they thought, they were like, yo, this is the greatest shit I've ever done. And I go, I know. Because you didn't do shit but work. Right? So I did that because before that, I was the guy who had to go to every neighborhood selling shit. So what I did was created a sales force that sold for me. Right? And that was the greatest thing. So now I don't sell shit. I just collect money. So now we're working. This is totally different because this entire thing is about
a different mission at hand. You're trying to empower the people for the future. This is bigger than making money.
Yes. This is way bigger.
Yeah, I understand. This is way bigger than any amount of dollar.
Yeah, because this is the power of not this is almost too big just for people to fathom. Like this is about becoming the infrastructure of the society, which is basically bartering and helping the rest of society to become free.
Freedom.
Yeah, freedom.
I'm so glad you said that. I was hoping you said free, man. That's you're on the same wave.
Well, because here's what happens, man. When you empower, so when you empower people, then you truly understand power. Right? Those who do not empower people do not understand power. They understand fear.
Yeah, it's deep.
Right? When you are who you say you are, then you don't fear. Yeah, you don't fear anyone becoming you. You try to make and create yourself over and over. Hence, why you come from God. Because he doesn't fear you becoming God because you're part of him.
Right.
You are a God already.
Yeah, you're godlike. Yeah,
you're godlike. So if you're godlike, and if you're in your business and you're a god at what you do, and you create a bunch of godlike people like you, and instead of me needing 100% of the pie, why don't I just create 100 bakers that give me 1% of pie?
You're teaching people how to fish, man.
But see, that's the thing, is that people, and you know, it's trying to, this entire sector has so much in it that it's hard to
Does,
even,
a lot.
there's a lot, and it's hard to like I mean, how can I educate you on margins, educate you on trading, educate you on NFTs, educate you on DeFi? Right. You can't even, yeah, you can't even fathom it.
Interest.
Yeah, you can't even fathom what I'm saying.
APR, APY, it's a lot.
Right. Now,
It's a full economics breakdown.
yeah, right. You're going through the University of Economics. It's a crash course.
Yeah, it really is.
And you don't, and
It's a
honestly,
lifestyle choice.
people don't, yes. The problem is, it is a lifestyle choice. It's a choice to be,
It is.
if, you know, and I find this incredibly easy to do because it's mathematics, right? It's economics. It is nothing for me to look at a chart, for me to look at a coin, for me to see what's going to explode, to me to see a trend, to me to understand how it'll get there, to me to, it's nothing for me.
You also
Why?
got your emotions in check, though.
Yeah, I don't have any emotions in this.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I mean, honestly, something can go really wrong, and I'd be like, okay, I'll double that up tomorrow.
Next trade.
Yeah, next trade.
I'll get that back.
I'll get that back.
Yeah,
Because it's so confident, and you know, and it's because the risk has also been limited, right? So the risk that I'm taking with certain amounts is allotted already for what I have set up for 5 years, right? So at the end of the day, I'm not too concerned about any of it, because at the end of the day, it's already going to take the millions and make it hundreds of millions. So right now, I'm trying to figure out, how do I, what's the best way to do this, or what could the mass amount of people do with blockchain technology without needing so much education? What could I possibly teach in 2 weeks to allow people to create income to be free? And all I thought to myself was, the average person makes $500 a week. So if they can make $1,000 a week, they could be free, because that extra 500 could be simply put into other allocations of DeFi and staking and interest, which would compound interest. And basically, after 3 to 4 to 5 years, they would be on a peer-to-peer program that paid them $5,000 a month in interest, and it basically retire. Right. And if they
borrowing when
and if they're just trading every day, you know, doing basics, and they make a trade once a week that's worth $500, I mean, what else do they need? Right. Yeah. So this is why I focused on margins, futures, and how to compound interest, because I can basically, I just showed you how to take $100 and make it $100,000. If you do 25% of what I teach you to do, you would make $100,000 a year. If you did half of what I told you to do, you'd make $500,000. If you mastered what I told you to do, you'd average $1 million your first year. After that, game over. But see, that's with the ability to have you in my head constantly, because you don't think like me. And if you don't think like me, you can't understand what I'm saying. So to educate you, so how can I have a personal relationship with 100 to 200,000 people every day?
It's hard, bro.
Right? So what I was thinking was, okay, what if I just went live in my life 24/7, right? And I bring on assistants, right? Where you guys can literally be commenting 100 miles an hour on different platforms, and people next to me can just be like, because once I answer a question, right, my admins will take the question. This is just like my marketing firm. When a new person comes in and asks me how this system works, I write the question down and I put the answer. It goes into a database. So when someone else asks that question, that question triggers
the answer's already there.
Yeah, the answer's already there. I don't have to answer it. And the admins can just simply send the answer. You see what I'm saying?
You hear a lot of the same shit.
Yes, over and over. over and over,
over and over,
over and over,
repeat, and rinse
over and
repeat.
over, right? I've heard it so
I
much.
know, 'cause I hear it now.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, the whole point of this is to get to a point where I'm just physically talking and I'm triggering you to ask a question. And when you ask the question, the admins answer it. Right? And then if I have 4 or even 7 admins answering questions from people all around the world, I could service 200,000-300,000 people a year.
Yeah,
Right?
makes sense.
Do you know what the power would be when we start a project and 100,000 people all invested?
I realized that with DeFi, just with me being by myself and just having 6 people in a year.
Okay.
It's 100,000 is ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
We're talking about maybe trillions here,
Yes. Exactly.
especially with DeFi. Oh my God.
So the reason why I created the VC coin was so that people could just be part of the crowdfunding, right? And what it is that when you support or sponsor me and you
Yeah, kickbacks.
you get basically by saying, yo, VC, I want to be in your mentor program, right? And I know you don't have 10 grand. And the reason why I charge 10 grand is because people call and they're with me like 24/7, guys. And
Why do you think I said I'd fly out there, bro?
Yeah. But
I dare you to test me one day.
here's what happens is that when you do a program like that, I get a bunch of rich people who basically absorb all the time.
Not hungry at all.
Well, no, but
They
it's
want
not
the
even
answers
that. I
to
mean,
the
they want to
problem.
make money, but the problem is that they absorb so much time from me that I'm only educating, 3 or 4 people a month. And there's no way that we're going to get where we need to go if this, in a year and a half, this is over.
Right, these are branches.
Like this isn't
This isn't going to be over in a year and a half the way you think, though. You know what I'm saying?
listen,
It will be controlled.
it's already over.
No, I don't think so. I'm not agreeing with that.
Here, okay,
That is
go
a pure
to
tactic for
Nexo,
one
go
of
to
the
go to
biggest things that's
Nexo,
gonna happen.
go to Nexo and get 12% interest.
That is there. Bro, they are. You remember the first thing you said? Not the first thing, but you said this like a month ago. They're regulating shit that's already regulated. Remember that?
Look what they did to BlockFi. Hit them with that
Yeah,
100
yeah.
million. Right? What did Nexo do?
And ain't got
Comply.
nothing to do with DeFi.
Yeah, I know, but see, DeFi's next. They just haven't got there yet. Right?
I don't think so.
When they
That's the off ramp. DeFi is the off ramp
Yeah.
that we must protect.
okay, but that's the problem. In the world of understanding, we could protect it. They're moving 1,000,000 miles an hour because they know if we can come together, we will win. But while the masses aren't here, they can win. Right? They're not dumb. They know how this works. It's like invading a country.
I mean,
Okay.
they're betting on us being rebellious because they know human
Yeah, human
psyche,
nature. They're
you know
not
what
worried
I'm saying?
about that. But while you're
They understand
rebellion,
it all.
if they go to a company and say, hey, listen, I understand everyone's pissed, but whatever they don't give you, we'll give it to you. Here's 400 million from BlackRock. So this way you can cut off that interest. We'll go ahead and do the liquidity. How do you feel? That sounds great. You know
So we
why?
get 10 trillion from BlackRock.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
To have their clients invest in crypto, that sounds counterproductive to what you're saying.
Okay, so with
I
BlackRock
don't
going
forget
over
what they
to
do, not what they say.
yeah, them giving $400 million and investing in the CDC coin was just to basically let Nexo know that, hey, if you cut all your clients off, they're going to get pissed off and leave, right? What do you make on those people? Oh, we're making about $100 to $150 million a year. Here's $400 million. Don't worry about it. Now make us the custodian of the coin. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring in another $7 trillion over the next 4 years. And you're going to get 50% of that. Is that okay? Yeah, that sounds great because
That's
without us,
invested into crypto, though.
yes. But who gets paid if the owners of the liquidity are the ones who get paid?
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Now here, you have to understand how this works. If they're taking over the CDC and
Right.
there's going to be rebellion here, right? But at the end of the
Always.
day, when the mass people come in from watching the Super Bowl ad and they all go to Coinbase, or certain places, and what they do is
FTX.
yeah, and they all okay. Who just approached FTX?
I don't know. Put me on.
Google it. Who just approached them?
I like that. I'm so glad you're like that because I'd say the same shit to my following.
Yeah. So go Google
ask me all this
who
shit,
just
find out.
who just asked FTX for a big meeting to work together. You're gonna love that one, right? Because they knew FTX went to team up with Elon Musk, and they realized how much power this guy has, and he's a philanthropist. So they need to get it under control, because what are you going to do with the philanthropist who keeps taking all his money and wants to do good in this community? Well, you better get control of his company so that you can stop him from doing that. Why do you think Bill Gates reached out to Elon Musk?
Oh man.
Because Elon Musk is getting out of control.
Fucking Bill Gates. This guy. I
Listen,
can't stand that.
Joe, your boy,
He's
your
trying to
joy,
do everything
your
wrong.
boy Brandon. This is where you need to wake up. Brandon put together an executive order that said they're going to look into crypto, right? And what you guys
With
do,
Ripple with the VP.
and what happens is you guys like Bushy Brow, right? Bushy Brow comes in and is like, stop all the FUD, guys. They said they're going to look into it, and they say, oh, they're going to regulate crypto. And they have in there it's going to take 7 to 8 months. They're just looking at it, right? And you guys, oh, thank God we have Bushy Brow here. He knows. He read Google, right? Now, why would you bring in the 7 main branches of the government just to look at crypto? You don't do that. You bring them in to actually regulate because they're about to write laws, right?
They're already.
And then
that's
fast
why I said
forward
this is the last cycle.
two days later, they already had a CDC coin for America.
A
XLM,
CDC coin.
yeah, the companies. So basically, they're following the same transition as the Yang. The reserves already had a coin.
This is the global thing, though. That's what you
Yes.
gotta do. Realize.
Yes.
Remember, this is global. Sometimes we get boxed in with the U.S. because of the program.
Yes,
But
it was
until this happens, this is when I'll get
completely
scared.
right. Now,
I want you
fast
to look at it
forward
from
to the
this
next
perspective.
week.
It's the CBDCs. When every country is
Go to the
live with
next week.
CBDC and the
Go to the following week. What happens? While you're worrying about the case with XRP, what is XLM doing?
right, yes, that became on top of the fucking
Stock market,
exchange.
right? Now, did they mention that? Did anyone know about that meeting? Has
I knew
anyone?
after.
Did
I knew
it?
people that
Yeah.
were speaking.
But how? You heard Janet Yellen, right? The head of the exchange, right? The head of all your monetary of America, right?
Yeah, I make the announcement. Yeah.
Yeah. She came out, was talking about how cryptocurrency needs to move forward. Didn't they just have a big meeting and talked about how they need to bring in crypto and a ledger and all that good stuff?
And we just had Bitcoin Miami.
Yes. But did anyone mention XLM?
No, they're not going to.
No.
It's called insider.
Exactly.
They can't talk about that before it happens. You understand? Because then that's it. You know what it is.
What do you mean? They talk about XRP ledger.
Exactly.
What are you saying? Did they not have documents? Do they not have a document that has 10 coins with the ISO 2222?
Where did that really even come from? There's been no official word. And
It's in go to the World Economics. It's in their book.
What, the World Economic Forum?
Yes. They have environmentally safe coins that they can use for currencies. There's 10 of them on there.
And you know what's crazy? When I first started getting into my conspiracy thing, it was the pandemic, and then you know what they said that the next one was going to be after that? And this was 2019. And he said climate. When they started talking about climate and build back better, before you even heard about it now, he said that's when you need to start fucking getting worried. And now it's all happening.
Yes. And
But we got to 2029, 2030. This is why without getting all crazy, that's why I've had a timeline on calling certain shit out. And I've been calling a lot of shit that's happening now out.
listen.
You're speeding it a little bit.
I'm not. You know why?
Just a perspective, man.
Here's what happened.
But again, I don't know all the
BlackRock
sides of you know. And I
put
do
four-
respect your opinion a lot.
BlackRock put 400 million into CDCs and to take over the CDC, right? Vanguard came in, put the other parts in, right? You turn around and go, okay, well, who does Vanguard own? MasterCard.
Okay.
MasterCard is the card to all the banks.
Uh-huh.
So
Shit.
they're going to use the interest from there to do the staking to pay people cash back.
So you're going to say they're going to try to take over being the liquidity providers
Yes.
and push us out?
Yes. Why would they want you using your money to make money?
Yeah, of course. Listen, I agree. You think this is happening in less than a year?
Okay. Obviously, you didn't get the phone. Did you get the email from Larry Fink?
No.
Okay. So Larry Fink wrote a letter that carbon mandates need to be put into place immediately, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that was Larry Fink, but I did
Yes.
hear grumblings about that.
Why is the SEC worried about carbons?
I just told you. That's the next pandemic.
Yeah, but listen, Google what the SEC does.
The Securities and Exchange Commission?
Yes. So why are they worried about the
Yeah.
environment?
Yeah, I know. Why is the fucking most powerful doctor Bill Gates?
Okay. Second thing is the Treasury, right? Did you read the other day how the Treasury has linked 4 wallets to the stolen coins from Roni?
No.
Why is
Yeah,
the Treasury of America hunting down wallets connected to a cryptocurrency
Are you
scam?
serious? What have I been saying since day one? Who gave us crypto?
Okay, so but listen.
Man did.
Their entire job is to protect the money of America. They're
The
over
United
here
States,
hunting down
yes, not that
wallets.
global asset.
Yes,
Yes,
the
you're
SEC is about financial institutes and protecting people and investing, but yet they're doing
Yeah,
environmental
They have
calls.
no authority. I know exactly what you're saying.
See,
That
they're
other-
they're
that
in
other
such a
agency
hurry to make things happen that they're not even waiting to basically hold an election to put somebody into a proper department that they can bribe, coerce, and do whatever, or put under who get
They're
them
not
to
even
believe
hiding
their
it.
story. They're just going to get they're basically saying, okay, who works for us? The chef? All right, there's a guy in plumbing that's not doing his job. Can the chef let everyone know we need a new toilet?
So could we even not? Let me ask you this from a legal standpoint, and as the people that we can see that we have one, where jurisdiction
Mm-hmm.
is being misused. Because that's what it is, right? It's
Yeah.
a jurisdictional issue, right? So-
I mean, I'm no lawyer, but I mean, there's a lot. I don't
I
know.
mean, it's common sense.
I don't know why the cash register is cooking food.
Right. It's a jurisdiction thing. Now, I believe everything happens for a reason. I'm that type of dude. Like,
But here,
everything I
more
went through in
importantly,
my
what I'm
life-
trying to tell you is that
Okay.
they're in such a hurry that
right
they're not even waiting to even do what they need to do properly,
properly.
they
through the
don't
proper
even
channels.
care.
I see what you're saying.
right? They don't want
Now, as the
you.
people, could we address it?
You could, but who are you going to address it to? Because on top of that, Joe Biden came out. What did he do? Your boy Joe Biden passed an executive law. You know what the executive law was? Carbons. You know what carbon affects?
Yes, I know.
Bitcoin mining.
Bitcoin. I know.
So if you shut down Bitcoin completely, guess who takes over? XRP.
Him. CBDCs. I don't even know. I don't take XRP, bro.
XRP and the ledgers. The ledgers take
Yeah,
over.
But the coin isn't going to. It's going to be $1.
Here's what happens. Here's what happens. When they take over Bitcoin and everyone's forced to kind of push out of Bitcoin in America, you put all your money in stablecoin.
Right.
You know what stablecoin is going to offer you? A MasterCard
Mm.
with 3% cash back.
So you think crows disappear?
Huh?
So I'm going to speak about all these things that, I mean, we talk on, because we just spoke about Polygon, spoke about Matic, you know, like the coins you chose, you know what I'm saying? That are long-term holders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're saying all that's going to go, right? We're only going to have NFTs built off of distributed ledger technology, probably off of Flare.
Probably.
And that's it? And stables?
If they push you out, right?
What's
The-
the purpose? What's
the-
the purpose, though?
The only
You gotta give me
thing.
the purpose behind it. What's the purpose?
What do you mean?
I mean, everything has a purpose. The reason that they do everything, like I could say, is for enslavement. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
But to do
why
that
would they
so
want you to?
fast and
Why would they want
abruptly
you to make
right
money?
now would cause a ruckus.
What ruckus?
It would cause anarchy.
Through
Because
who?
people would now know that they
Listen,
being
what? Okay, so here's the
controlled.
thing: the stock market exchange has been around for hundreds of years, right? 100 years,
Yeah.
right? 100 years. And when everyone was doing GameStop and they caught the major hedge funds shorting a stock, right? And it was on every damn news channel 24/7.
Right.
And they shut down trading for 2 days, which is completely
That was a
illegal.
whole Robin Hood scandal.
What
behind that
happened? Who's been in jail?
shit. Nobody.
What
I mean,
is there
I don't
even
know.
is there even a court case?
Yes, there was an actual I think a class action lawsuit against
Oh, right. The
creator
people,
of Robin
the
Hood.
people filed class action against Robin Hood. What did the
Yeah, I
SEC
think they're
do?
winning too.
What did the SEC do?
Oh, come on, man! They're in first off, you're speaking.
Okay,
what we already
this is what I'm
know.
saying. Now listen,
That's
listen,
that's
listen,
it's
but
us versus
listen,
them. You know
listen.
that.
At the end of the
Our
day,
politicians are the best stock traders.
0.03% of the world's money is involved in crypto. Do you know how small that is?
It's nothing.
Right? How
So you're telling me they're
there's
betting on the
there's
baby boomers
200.
fighting for the system?
Why would the baby boomers fight for the system when they still got all their money in BlackRock?
That's what I'm saying. They're fighting for the system. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
They wouldn't
So
even
if they
call
can
the
take
ruckus
the
because they're still.
Yeah, they don't even
dumb.
know. They don't even know. So if you can cut
Right.
the baby boomers off before the baby boomers realize they can get 10 to 12% interest when they're in BlackRock getting 4%.
It's that.
So you're asking me why they're rushing to make 200% more money on what they do?
I will believe this if by August it's done. If it's not done by August and you're still hearing halving cycles and all that, because the way you're speaking of it, I feel like this shit is done. This shit should be tanking and nothing should even move. I should see XRP
Bro, look
bust at the bottom of this channel.
Have you seen the
At
charts?
what you're speaking.
Have you looked at the chart?
Huh?
Have you looked at the
I'm
charts?
always looking at the charts.
Look at the chart.
It's at 68 cents.
Tell me Bitcoin's not going to 34,000.
But tell me Bitcoin's going under 28.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Bro, I'm telling you.
You'll never see under. You will never see. How
Do-
about this?
do you
I
know-
will be more-
do you
more
know how
drastic.
quick-
You'll never see an $18,000 Bitcoin again.
Let me tell you what they did, man. They're forcing a food shortage. They're forcing a lockdowns. They're forcing
you're going
economic
everywhere
distress. We're in a depression. Okay? Did you ever read 1920?
No.
Okay. Where do you think Bitcoin will be if everyone who needs money has to sell?
I would agree with that if 85% of the nodes weren't all behind one company.
Well, I mean, is the company going to go out of business, or they're just going to wait
No.
for everyone to
And
take
they're
over?
not selling.
No,
They
they're not
want
selling.
the people are going to sell,
Yes,
absolutely.
yes.
But the diehards that know they're betting on.
Oh yeah,
the
but what is that?
economic
What is that?
crash,
0.002% of the population?
which is the majority of the people. Whole Bitcoin. How
No,
many fucking regular Joe Schmoes have Bitcoin, bro?
nobody.
Have I ever bought Bitcoin? And no.
Right, but that's the
Never had
point.
Bitcoin.
Here's what I'm going to teach you.
Say?
You ready to learn?
Yeah,
When you say to
always.
yourself, here's how to think properly. When you say to yourself, how many regular Joe Schmoes own Bitcoin? And we know it's really nobody, right?
Mhm.
Now I'm going to ask you, well, since they're not in Bitcoin, what are they buying?
Ripple.
Nope. There's 175,000 people.
Oh, you're talking about 175,000 people in the world. What coins are being
No, I'm just
grabbed
saying.
the most?
Think about this. The market is so small that all the Joe Schmoes aren't in Bitcoin, and we know this, but where are they if the market cap's only 1.8?
That's a very good question. Ethereum.
How
Definitely.
many wallets does Ethereum have?
I don't know. I can look that up. You know what? You're gonna make me. That's what I'm gonna do when I come home from work. I'm crunching numbers because I'm gonna find out. I'm a nice researcher, bro.
What I'm telling you, bro, is that
you gave me a whole bunch of fucking work, bro.
every single day we get on here, right? And you got to realize that all we do is live in crypto. Okay?
Yeah.
But when
that's
you
all I do.
when you actually go into crypto and you actually look at a thing and go, I wonder who's all with me. It's like if all we did was talk baseball, right? Because we thought
Right.
baseball was the greatest thing in the world. And then
Right.
one day we threw a game. Like we're like, you know what? Let's have a game because all these people love it. And
Right.
we've talked to a couple hundred people online and they say there's other people. And then we go rent out a stadium for 20,000 people and 500 show up.
Hmm.
And we realize that it's really only big to us. Like, do you understand?
Unfortunately.
Yeah. So when you're online, there's a reason why when someone mentions an influencer's name, everyone knows who that is. It's because there's a small crowd. And they're not organized enough to actually understand what needs to be done.
I think that's the problem.
I know, but listen. Do you think the person you're up against doesn't know that? Like, do you think they're not aware of what they're doing right now? Do you think that they're moving 1,000,000 miles an hour because they're not afraid that the baby boomers will listen to their 18-year-old kid and put 10 grand in an account that makes 10% interest? Do you think? Do you think that they personally?
They would have been done it though, bro.
Listen. Do you think they personally? Okay, who owns everything? Who's the people who go around and lobby? Literally all the politicians, right? Because this is all lobbyists, right? These are just people with their own interests, right?
I mean, Rosie Rios is now a
Okay,
lobbyist.
yeah, there you go. But at the end of the day, if the people who lobby the politicians are literally your Goldman and Sachs, your Jamie Dimon, and all these people, right?
Yeah.
You think that they keep turning down the ETFs for Bitcoin because they don't want for their banks to make money? They turn them down just like they tell you that the Ripple case is going to be done in a month.
So even though that big ass announcement that happened with Bitcoin and Bitcoin Miami talking about being accepted by one of the biggest payment I forget the name of the group.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That
yeah.
you can use your Bitcoin and buy anywhere. You know what I mean? Even though people aren't going to use it for
It's
that.
a credit
card.
for
nothing.
It's a credit card company. It's actually one of my clients. They make the credit cards for literally every fucking store in the world. Right?
What's the name of the company?
We sell their cards in Sam's Club. Right? It's literally simple. It's the backer of all credit cards. Now, all that they did was say, okay, so if you can create a way for people to pay in Bitcoin, right? And they're not actually, here's what it is, right? And this is where announcements and like this are very misleading. Okay, you come over and you say, hey man, we got all these, we have all these people who have Bitcoin and we're trying to get Bitcoin to order from these stores, right? And you're saying to yourself, and the credit card company's like, okay, so you want to pay in Bitcoin. Yes. And by paying in Bitcoin, we'll pay you a 7% charge or a fee because they make money off fees. Like they don't care.
That's it, exactly.
They don't care whether you pay in diamonds, poop or whatever, as long as they get a transaction that's
Their
worth
percent,
cash.
their cut,
So
yeah.
here's how it goes. You have Bitcoin, you go to this company and you walk into Sam's Club, right? And you go to the register and you go to pay. I guarantee you that when you cross your wallet and you have your little whatever card they give you, whatever app they have, you click
Or
that
your cell
app.
phone, yeah.
And that's going to have the Lightning, right? Lightning Network, right?
Yeah, it gets paid $1.50.
Well, here's what they're going to do. The Lightning Network is going to take the Bitcoin from your wallet, move it to their wallet, and then they're going to pay your Sam's Club bill to the credit card company, who then they send the money to them, and then they give you the credit to pay for your Sam's items. You walk out of the store. The credit card company that oversees every merchant is not accepting the Bitcoin.
You're basically saying what the IMF is doing to South America right now. That's basically what you're saying.
What they're doing is they're accepting the cash from the Lightning Network, who's going to handle all the transactions.
Mm-hmm.
All they're saying is that the Lightning Network will be allowed to shop at all the stores as long as they give the stores money.
That's a crazy facade right there.
So does it matter if every single merchant in under their umbrella accepts Bitcoin payments from the Lightning Network?
It's really just MasterCard at the end of the
Yes.
day. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly. But it sounds good. Sounds great.
I think it's too soon. I understand the whole geopolitical thing. Listen, I knew a crash was coming. This is facts. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the problem, right?
I knew this 2 years ago.
Here's what you have to
The
understand.
whole 7-year rule too.
As mass adoption comes, there's money for cryptocurrency. Technology overwhelms. People invest in technology. More companies come in and
Is this
invest.
in vain? Forget all that. Is this in vain?
Huh?
Is this all in vain?
No.
Are you sure? Because that's where you got me at right now, man.
No, it's not
You
in
got me
vain,
stressed
man.
out.
Here's the beautiful thing, bro.
You got me stressed the fuck out.
Here's the beautiful thing, right? Is that what you're learning today can process very quickly. You have a year, right? And in that year, you can create $500,000 to $1 million. And you know what that creates for you? The ability to leave this place.
Yeah.
Because this is the only entrapment that this takes over is America. Why do you think you will see hundreds of thousands of Americans give up their citizenship and leave? Because they don't.
Somewhere where I can do that.
Yes, that's the difference. So it's not in
I
vain.
think I might be angered, bro.
You're not, bro. There's so many ways around it, dude. But I'm just saying, for the masses, what I'm saying for the masses is by the time you educate the masses and by the time they figure it out and by the time all this happens, right, they won't get the full effect. They've already, when you pass a law that says you have to be an accredited investor, and it's not even, do you know that in stock exchange to be accredited investor, you need 250,000? In crypto, they made it 1 million. They don't even want you to think about the shit. Because they know baby boomers have 250,000, they got 100, they got 1 million. But if a baby,
and that's just you having that as capital.
yes,
So that's just having the bigger dick. That's crazy.
yeah. So they allowed the rich of the rich to get into crypto, just like they allow the rich of the rich to be in IPOs.
Right.
But because the market is so small, they don't need you to be like literally, they don't need every rich person to get into crypto. They just want the richest of the rich to be able to get in crypto. Right?
To stay the rich.
Yes. But more importantly, when people say, dude, you need $1 million. Now, can you know how, and you know why they made it 1 million, bro? Because when you,
easier to get now.
when you make a DAO, right? DAOs are raising, DAOs are raising 30, 40 million. Right? So they couldn't make it they couldn't make it 250,000 because it's like, that's way too easy. So they made it 1 million
really
because
is.
they know that people can raise money together. But here's the question. How many people are going to do it when you have to dedicate 1 million? You see what I'm saying? There's
You know
just
what- you know what, on
there's
some
a lot of
real
things
shit?
here.
Because I'm doing this with my family, and I might have to get like a couple more people. Everyone puts $100 a week because doing it by ourselves with life happening,
Yeah.
that compound ain't gonna be great. But if you had a family unit of 10 people that all put into a nice DeFi protocol, just for just 8 installments, and then let the rest go,
Yes.
you're gonna have a lot of money, bro.
Oh, I know, bro.
Because
But-
the compounding is different, you know what I mean? Especially when you
Yes.
get to that first month that you hit the $100,000. God damn.
Yeah,
You're
things.
not compounding off that $100. You're now compounding off. God damn.
Now here, listen. The only reason that money exists is because these companies are creating companies, right?
Yeah.
It would literally take. Let's just hope, you get to going, bro.
You're making it seem like this shit dead this year, like end of the year type shit.
I mean,
That's
dude,
insane.
you know how easy it is to pass a law, and every one of these coins don't pass the Howey test.
Yeah, they can make up whatever the fuck they want.
It's impossible for any of these cryptos to actually pass the Howey test. The moment they regulate this, every one of these coins will have to register with the SEC, which means they will then have to follow regulations, which means that you can't be inside the liquidity pool unless you have $1
Bye-bye.
million.
Everything's bye-bye. Everything's bye-bye.
Yeah.
Everything. I already see how that can trickle down because there'll be so many subsections that contradict that subsection,
Yes.
that contradict that
Yes.
fucking bullshit.
Yes.
I already know how the mixing man.
So, this is a ticking time
How
bomb.
the election? What about the election though? Look, hey, people, what I'm saying, didn't Biden just appoint that dude to go oversee Ripple?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, he bring the
Yeah,
guy
right,
in,
that
right?
was
He bring the
it.
guy from Ripple. Yeah.
That was placed by Biden. Now, when they find out, does that even have authority? Because he is about to be exposed on an election that was cheated, and possibly we might see some hangings and happen.
Oh yeah. I mean, but now you're talking about who knows with bro? We're about to go to recession. Like people don't understand if they don't take their money right now and get it invested with projects in this crypto world, right? And get it with people who can understand this crypto world. There's no time. Everybody wants to sit back and learn crypto, right? Crypto.
I'm glad I did mine. Right?
By the time you learn it, it's you don't have a year to learn. Like you need to be in now. I'm just saying, bro.
It's us. It's up to us, bro. You know what? It's there's a reason why good-hearted spiritual people.
There's a lot of good people,
Or
man.
trying to
There's
bring
a
it to
lot of
people.
there's a lot of
I
big
wouldn't try to get over on anybody.
there's a lot of big players here, bro. There's a lot of companies like Sam from FTX is doing something. A lot of these companies are trying to do something. Cardano's trying to protect the entire space, but you got to say, where's the threshold of pain? Where does it end? Where does it? I mean, we have so many problems right now. It's hard to even fathom what this is going to be.
Oh, Cardano's
Right.
dead then. The way Cardano.
I mean, you have to understand, like,
Cardano's born.
there's a ton of stuff here, man. Like, this technology is moving so fast, you don't know what it's going to create, right? Now, you have an entire sector this entire thing that they're doing, there's just so much, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're talking about mounds on top of mounds on top of mounds. You're talking about intellectual properties. You're talking about NFTs who, when you buy something for something to be worth value, that has to be registered through the SEC. Then it has to have a company. I mean, this all could like literally, all it takes. Yeah, I mean, all it takes is 3 or 4 companies to look what happened the other day. The casino, Sands Vegas, right? Created an NFT that allowed you to buy a NFT player and go into a metaverse world of a casino. And if the metaverse casino made money, you got portions of the casino. And then Texas and Oklahoma filed a suit against the NFT casino, and OpenSeas removed them from the marketplace because people were promised to make profits for buying an NFT that was in the gambling. Now get this. The casino...
That's a gaming sector, though.
Yeah, but dude, the casino's in the metaverse. It's not even real.
Yeah, but there's money. Whenever you put cash into something that's money, essentially, you know what I mean? And you're making a profit,
Yeah, but
Or
that's what
promise,
I'm saying, dude.
promise.
But think what you're saying right now. If you're putting money into something that's going to make profit, now tell me one NFT project that isn't that.
Very true.
But what's the difference between that and art? Is a painting? Is you know what I'm saying? Is that considered a security?
I don't know. Can you stake your painting?
Yeah, essentially time. I'm sorry, but the Mona Lisa only appreciates more and more through what? Time. What's the difference between that's
But
staking, if you ask
who's
me?
paying
We
you?
just put a button to it.
Yeah, but who's paying you to stake your Mona Lisa? But that's what I'm saying,
I
bro.
don't know.
The
I
laws
know
are
what you're saying. I know what you're
the
getting at.
laws are so
I'm just trying to
fringy.
rationalize.
Yeah, the laws are so fringy they can go either way. Personally, the Howey test is the dumbest thing I've ever. It's the dumbest test I've ever heard. Anything you buy except for food to consume. Anything that you buy, you hope makes you money by buying. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
by
Even
making
property.
it, yeah. Now the reason why when you go buy a Nike shoe or anything from the RTFK, you have to sign an intellectual or a property contract saying that you have no rights to that brand because you're not buying that brand to resell it for money. You're buying it because you like Nike, right? So there's so many
Right.
laws that are coming up that the only good thing that we have in our favor, and this will make you smile at the end of this, right? What I'm doing is I'm trying to explain to you that all this could end with one law. But the good thing about this is that we have so many people that aren't under the rapture of the 1% cabal, that the best thing about the government is that it does take 5-6 months, courts, people going in there trying to pass a law, so many senators, the House, you know what I'm saying? So we do have a good solid year and a half, 2 years before they come up with any type of law. But when you have the SEC pushing on carbon rights when it's not even an environmental company, like I don't even understand what that is, right? And until somebody stands up and says, why is the SEC concerned about carbon? Right? There's not only do you have a war, you have a recession, you have no money, you have no taxes, you have food going up 400%, you have gasoline up 300%. I mean, dude, look around, bro. We got problems.
Can I give you one more question to add into that?
Yeah.
That a lot of people forgot, and I hope whoever's in this Discord listening, you're lucky because this might even make you even remember about Ripple. Why is the naval company, the U.S. Navy?
Oh yeah, they're
right,
using them to put implants.
working with a tech company about putting chips in people's hands?
Exactly.
Something's coming. I just know it ain't like this year. I had honestly.
Look up
2025 was like the time. Man.
Look up a company here.
Right.
You want me to blow your mind? Here you go. Look up a company called Chaotic Moon.
I remember that. I made that TikTok too.
Look up a company called Chaotic Moon.
Oh yeah, I'm right now making a soup. I'm gonna go down now. You got my head all fucked up, man. I had to go eat. I'm stress eating now.
Look, you got plenty of time this year to get it done, bro. But I'm saying is there's no time like the present. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, there's no time to think that you have time, right? You know the dumbest person is? They think they have all the time in the world.
Right. And I wasted a whole lot of that.
Right. So if you don't put this on a time frame that makes you understand that, man, you got summer, it's like, okay, you want abs by summer, there's 3 months. Well, you don't start it, you don't start next month, bro.
No, you don't. No.
You start now. You get it done.
I got to get all my best friends together and I'm like, yo, y'all want to be part of something great? This protocol will not be around.
Well, you got to go.
We got to make this first year great. We all have 5 million.
I mean, that's what people have to understand is they gotta execute. Like this entire thing has been just really the moment of like what you have to do. It's like you just have to come down to the fact that it's all about execution, right? That's the difference.
Presentation to it, bro. My family, when I showed them, because they hate when I talk about it, but when I showed it and broke it down in the presentation where they saw the numbers and the calculating and all that, they're like, oh, you can't do that. And they're like, well, where's the money come from? And I had all the answers because I already knew what they were going to say. And they're like, okay, let's do it. I'm like, bet.
I mean, we just have to The problem is the only way to win or come out at the end is that we all stand for
Just
one
come
thing
together.
and understand that's what we're
Yeah,
doing,
right.
right? Right now, what are you going to come together on? You got people who are Bitcoin maxis, XLM maxis, XRP maxis, Cardano maxis. I mean, the easiest way to get destroyed is to be separated.
Separated. That's what. Oh, I think there's some. Why do you think there's 20,000 fucking cryptocurrencies?
Well, that's what I'm saying. When people have to realize that the only thing we stand for is blockchain, right?
Yeah.
That's the entire thing, bro. So that's what you have to
But
understand.
honestly, that's the killer, though, bro.
It's just blockchain. We stand for blockchain. Peer to peer, anything that is not
Oh, in that aspect, yeah.
done into anything with regular businesses. What we want to do is build and create companies that are decentralized, no main CEOs. The money's distributed through the entire thing. There's more money given to the people holding than there isn't. And if we don't have that, then we'll build our own.
That's why we can't get on that distributed ledger shit, bro. Because they're gonna control us. They're gonna program our money.
Yes, they are.
People have no idea.
Let me tell you something. Listen, there's people already on programmed money. It's called food stamps. Okay? This is nothing new.
I fucking hate you, bro.
Nothing new, dog.
I think it's called credit cards. I fucking hate you right now. You were my boy until about 5 minutes ago.
This is how it goes. Like, people have to wake up. Like, stop.
Keep it real.
Stop thinking that this isn't going to happen. It's already happened. All they're doing is basically upgrading it to more control, right? So when you have food stamps,
It's just not that fast.
listen. When you have food stamps, right? I see people like back in the day, man. You used to be at like people. So what can't you there's stuff you can't buy with food stamps.
Yeah, no hot foods at all.
What is that? So a hot food is what you're talking about from the deli, right? So you can't.
I mean, yeah.
So you
buy
can't.
cold from the deli, but you can't buy hot cooked food.
So if the deli makes a chicken and it cools down and they chop it up and throw it in a bag and say it's cold, then you can buy it, but you couldn't buy it while it was hot and delicious.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I think.
Yep.
What's
I don't know.
that's
I
like
mean,
saying
I
that's
think
like
it's
saying you can't buy from Jim when he makes he makes the
you
cake
can't go
fresh.
buy McDonald's on no food stamps. You can't go buy no hot soup on food stamps. They're gonna say no. Get that can. That's 20 cents, and you gonna make it yourself. I'm not gonna let you spend $4 on that small soup when you can get 5
Right.
cans.
So, but see, that's where people when you talk about things like that, and people will look at that and go, "Yeah, I mean, shit, you're on welfare, man. Why do you want a hot meal? Make it yourself." Like you
that's
don't
why-
work hard
that's the
enough to
purpose.
get DoorDash, right? And then people will
No,
be
you
like, "Well, I
don't.
should have the right to eat what I want." It's like, well, yeah, but you didn't earn it, right? So that's kind of like that's already digitized things, and then they're going to say, well, here's what they're going to say with every
You understand the purpose
all
of why
these
it's like
people.
that, though, is so they can have
Here you go. People have health issues. Why? Because they eat the wrong foods. So if you go to McDonald's 7 times a week, and all of a sudden your employer's like, "Listen, this person works for me, and I pay their health care, right?" You're going to the
Right.
doctor 5 times a year, 7 times a year, 8 times a year because you're obese, right?
Mhm.
They're going to have to pay for more doctor visits, more heart exams, more all this other stuff, right? They will have the right to say on your paycheck, when we give you money, you can't eat McDonald's until you're under this weight.
Ah, damn.
And if you don't like it, find another job,
You're taking a choice, bro.
right? And what they're doing is just like before when you were driving, like remember insurance where it was like if you wanted it, you could have it, or you can do such and such. And then they're like, everyone, if you drive a car, you have to have insurance, right? And then people
Yeah.
are like, hey, if you do this, you have to do this. They're making it so companies can basically fire you if you're not what they, you know what I'm saying?
Complying.
Yeah, you're not complying to what they want, which is a hardworking
Yeah.
person. And then you have to say to yourself, like, I mean, shit, if you own a company, there's two sides of this, bro. If I own a company and I need you to walk around door to door and you need to be in shape and you're heavy and you can't work or you have heart problems, then why am I responsible for your shitty eating habits?
Well, I don't think that's ever going to happen though, because I know what their goal is. It is to keep us separated. So a lot of
Yeah,
people
but-
aren't going to be working.
Yeah, you have to, but that's what I'm saying. Like you have all these, there's different sides to every story, right? what you have to understand is like when they manipulate those stories to fit their agenda.
Right. Now the thing is, what's the agenda?
The agenda is basically to have what every dictatorship in the world wants, to see and monitor everything you do.
Right.
That's exactly it.
Because that way you can control everything that happens.
With fear, right?
I mean, just if you know what everyone's doing or where they're at or what's happening, then you can you know where everyone's at. It's like, I mean, most people look at it and be like, well, if you're not doing anything wrong, who cares? Right? And most people feel that way. But at the end of the day, it's like, what do they do with that power? Because every time you give up freedom, they want more freedom, right? Every time you give up power, every time you give up power, what do? They want more power.
Want more power.
Right? Every time you say, hey,
Tried to do since the beginning of time.
look at how many, who are they to give themselves raises? Like, first of all, shouldn't the people vote if they get a raise? They work for us. But enough about that. Let me wrap it up. I appreciate it, guys. I'm going to cut this video out. So crazy. Good luck out there, guys.